You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On Whom the Dogs Pile. A little bit of stuff going on in the world today, as it were. We're going to be joined by a couple wonderful guests. But before we do, how's everybody's night going? How is the chat doing today? I don't think there's any major news that we need to talk about. Nobody, had videos leaked of them saying certain things and inventing abstract concepts or whatnot. I'm sure that didn't happen today. But before we get into that, Richard and Hop, how's your night going, man?
That's good. I'm doing all right. Hope everybody's having a better night.
I moistened my hair for the show, just in case.
Well, this is the moist hair show. So if you do not have wet and glistening hair, it just doesn't count.
Behind this PFP, I indeed have wet, glistening hair. I got out of the shower about 35 seconds before the show started.
I figured, I was like, where's Richard? Because usually he's not actually late. Usually it's just me being late, and I blame Richard for it.
Yeah, no, I indeed was in the shower when the show started. So
admit it. Admit you were late.
I was.
Say it. Say it.
I was late.
That's true. I literally do bully Richard into taking the blame for being late on the show every time. Well, all right. I figured we'd start on something a little bit lighter tonight, a little bit less heavy while people are still filing in. We have the new Logic Verified tag. I believe you can get this on X. It's very expensive, but you can indeed get it. Oh, dear. All right. Well, actually, what is actually on lighter news? Okay, so this is I don't know what the heck this thing is, but I kind of want one. And yes, it does look like that one eruptor from Helldivers, right? Which is not a great gun. But this is probably also not a great gun. This is from FN, which is like the first interesting gun FN has made in the last, I guess since the original Scar came out. I mean, their Guardian, not the Guardian lineup. What's their other lineup of ARs that's actually decent, but nobody buys, nobody talks about?
The TAC 3s are awesome.
TAC 3, that's the one.
Like a legitimately epic rifle, but they only make them in one config, and nobody wants 16 inches anymore. So
yeah,
I was gonna say it's definitely not the Guardian.
No, the Guardian's the rebrand line that every single person in the industry has.
The Guardian looks like an Anderson that has an FN logo on the lower. I'm not even sure how they pulled that off. They use a worse handguard than most PSAs.
Yep.
I wouldn't even have said it looks like an Anderson. I think it looks like the crappier Delta Team Tactical.
Well, it's like the Delta Team Tactical Journeyman, like almost piece for piece. It's like the NBS like 6061 billet uppers with a handguard that I don't think actually is pin aligned. I think it's just sitting there. So yeah, crappy. But this is the FN MTL which sounds like an inappropriate acronym. 30, medium velocity, flat trajectory grenade launcher chambered for 30 millimeter grenades. It's our latest development contract with the US Army and our submission for the Precision Grenader system. This next gen platform is built for greater precision and range compared to legacy systems.
So there was some kind of like RFP for that, right? Because I seem to remember like 3 or 4 of these semi-auto, or if that is semi-auto, like handheld grenade launcher platforms were at SHOT Show this last year, right? Like it was the thing.
Vaguely
they were all in the basement
seeing them
from companies you've never heard of. But yeah, there were a lot of these, like, and every time somebody saw one, they were like, "Oh, OMG, heavy bolter."
Right? Yeah. It's like you actually can have a bolter, and yes, it will kill you if you try to hip fire it, just like a standard Marine.
And is 30 millimeter a DD, or am I confused about how?
No, dude. Yeah, on the civilian market, it would be a destructive device, and every round for it would also be a destructive device. So, well, actually, no. I like the $200 tax stamp still applies to destructive devices. So you still have to pay $200
per
on top
round,
of,
right?
Well, per round, correct.
Yeah.
On top of whatever the round costs, which is probably several $100s as well, if not more than that on the civilian market. But I don't know. This is kind of a cool concept.
3D mil chalk rounds.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Already exist.
Well, I don't know with how they work for this, but I don't think it's semi-automatic. It's probably just quote unquote like single shot. But if semi-auto, also very cool. But it's a magazine fed, probably like 5 or 6 30-round grenade launchers that instead of arcing, or everything arcs obviously, but instead of having that crazy arc you would have on like a M203 or something like that, these are supposed to be more quote unquote direct fire. And as you can tell, there's a lot of energy on there. And for a man portable system, they just threw on the biggest brake possible to where it would not actually kill you to shoot this thing. The concussion, however, will probably be hilarious. And the weight on this thing is probably 10, 12 pounds minimum. Now the real question is, if I put a SIG Romeo 5 on top, will it turn to dust on the first round?
I'm going to guess that it'd at least make it through the first 4 or 5 rounds before the lugs shear off or the bolts fail.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny. Sometimes these things actually don't have that much recoil depending on what the rounds are. So
it's like how scopes for air guns have to be rated to a higher recoil standard because air guns recoil in a weird way.
Correct. Well, they have like a dual recoil impulse.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't just
I don't know how that stuff works. But dude, yeah, look at that bolt. Look at that just slab of metal sitting in the middle. So FN wins the U.S. Army development contract for the Precision Grenader system. FN America is pleased to announce that it got awarded a $2 million contract. $2 million is like 40 of these things. It's not very many. So it's like a test run, $2 million, because it is literally less than 100 of these things, most likely.
I don't see why outside of development costs, that gun itself should cost more than $2,000. Like, why is that more expensive than a Scar Heavy, right?
Well, it's going to be the development costs and just the amount of material and machining required. Because internally, it's probably not that complicated. You know, you have a huge heavy bolt, some sort of charging mechanism, and then you have like an aluminum frame around it, and then a magazine. Now, what looks interesting to me is it looks like this magwell is replaceable. So I don't know if it's meant to, in the future, accept different types of shells or something that would require you to not have a magwell on.
25 mil version for sale to South Africa to replace their Denels or something like that.
Yeah, possible. Increased lethality and precision compared to legacy grenade launchers, MTL design.
That's got to be like a 4-round magazine.
Probably. Find the paragraph where they explain why not the entire gun is black or brown.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah,
why
well,
is
that
it
was
already
a DoD
two-tone?
requirement. They needed everything needs to be two-tone.
I didn't even build that from a parts kit, and it's already two-tone. Come on.
The FN MTL-30 shoulder-fired launcher can engage in close-quarter warfare. All right, defeat targets in defilade, and engage unmanned aerial systems. Oh, okay. So it could also be like anti-drone, like some sort of proximity.
Yeah,
munitions
for blowing a cluster of drones out of the sky.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I
said
bet you
John
could fit
Bunger.
quite a bit of shot in one of those things if you turn it into a giant shotgun.
Yeah, providing solutions that can counter multiple threats is critical for future battlefield engagements, and we are excited that the Army is interested in maturing our PGS solution. We are fully committed to this system and its development. You know what's funny? This is a perfect Western versus Eastern example, right? So the West will build something like this to counter drones, and then people in the East will literally just be carrying a hunting shotgun. Now, this is hopefully more effective, but in the East, they tend to simpler and quantity over quality.
The way that they counter drones in the East is by making the cost of one man on the field cheaper than the cost of one drone on the field.
Let's see. So the 30 millimeter medium velocity grenades and a detachable box magazine with 3 or 5 round capacity, 35 inches in length, which is actually pretty darn long.
Short.
35 inches is like a 20-inch AR. So this is actually huge. It looks stubby, but this is huge.
Other, like, what is this compared to? Right, this would be compared to the 1903 and the 6-round. What is it? I can't think of the designation on it. And those are pretty large for no more barrel than what you get out of them.
Well, I mean, we're probably still looking at like a 16-ish inch barrel on there if it's 35 inches overall. M4 style.
The Denell, is it called the PA 20? Is it a 20 mil shoulder fired launcher? PAW 20?
I believe so.
20.
It's the one that's in all of the South African Neil Blomkamp films.
The Neopop? PA 20? Is that what we're talking about?
Neopop PA 20, yeah, not Denell.
Okay, the PA 20. This thing. Oh, okay. Dude, that looks like it was...
You just like stick your whole hand in it, like, I mean, some kind of...
South Africa. Very right. 13 pounds, 33 inches. So it's actually about the same size as that. Yeah.
14-inch
for sure. Yeah, 20 by 42, 300, 400 meters. Very interesting. Yeah, that looks like it would have ruled sci-fi films in the 90s and early 2000s.
It's got a sick EOTech 510 on it. I like that.
What lasts longer, the rounds or the battery life on that thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, modern 2025, everything has AR controls now. You're welcome. We got an M4 buttstock, which looks like just yeah. We got the double cheek riser on a Magpul CTR stock. Fantastic. Visual augmentation system, boss. What the heck is a visual augmentation system? Is that that's the XM157?
No, that's just the word you use to try to convince people that the idea of an optic is somehow more sci-fi than they thought it was.
Well, listen, we need $2 million for this contract, okay?
It's like when they started calling one of the SIG Tangos the DVO, the direct view optic. You're like, as opposed to those indirect view optics. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, listen, it sounds fancy.
It's not a periscope, okay? It's direct view. It's not mirrored.
Okay, I just want to see, is it... I didn't see if it said it was semi-auto or not, because if this was somehow... I don't think it is. So you'd have to put an entire recoil system and then a gas system on it or a recoil operating system on the barrel or something. Should make it more complicated. I think just single shot side charging, actually dual side charging. How about that?
The charging system just doesn't look that effective because it's so...
there
you go. Yeah, Soldier portable semi-automatic. So it is.
Oh, it is semi-automatic.
There's some kind of gas system in there, maybe.
All right. Yeah, hopefully it's a non-reciprocating charging handle, unlike their previous rifles.
They figured that out 3 or 4 years ago.
Somehow 20 years later, after the SCAR came out, they're like, we should probably... we have the technology. We can fix this. Okay.
We lost the blueprints, just like the Apollo program. We can't do it anymore.
The telemetry data is gone. It's over. All right. Well, Ben is still based even after inventing logic. Indeed. All right. Chud for 2 says, any thoughts on Rainier Ultramatch barrels? I remember Rainier's kind of cringe because didn't they give over all their customer data to somebody not too long ago? Wasn't that a whole thing at TriggerCon 2023, something like that?
I don't remember.
I forget about the drama surrounding them. Yeah, there was some drama about Rainier, but as far as their products go, I don't think I've tried any of them, so it's difficult for me to comment on it.
Seems like they don't make as much cool, unique stuff as they used to. Like
also, I don't
really special stuff.
I don't really get the concept of ultra match barrels for an AR. Like, at most, like if you actually get like a really good barrel, you're shooting like 1 MOA. And then a lot of like kind of mediocre barrels will also get you pretty damn close to 1 MOA. It's more about you and the ammunition itself. So if you're spending like $300, $400, $500, $600 on an AR barrel, it's probably just not worth it in a gas gun, unless it's something like truly specific.
Did you get one of those $600 fluted barrels that?
I was no, it was terrible.
You made a video about that, right?
Yes. I made a video that after 2,000 rounds, it shoots like 6 to 10 MOA with ball ammo, and at best 2 MOA with match ammo. At best, and it's actually sitting in my closet on the floor right now because I don't know what to do with it. Maybe that'll fix it. Honestly, Lightsport 5 says seeing Transformers as a child is unironically a large part why I probably enlisted. Yeah, looking back, it's like, wow, there's a lot of military propaganda in this film, but damn, does it look badass.
There's a saying that it's impossible to make an anti-war film because all you have to do is show war on screen and people will be like, oh, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it speaks to something inside, no matter how much social programming there is, okay, war just speaks to people.
Call of Duty puts those little blurbs in all the loading screens. It's like, only the dead have seen the end of war. And you're like, well, then I hope I don't die because this is awesome.
Right. Essential Sans Defense for 2 says, okay, take my money. Where do I get that track? For free if you want it. It's just a remix. Nate Eller for 5 says, light and gay, but that's okay since we may be graced by the Stegler. No, the Stegler is working. Now, vicariously. How about that? Thank you, Nate Edler. BF Chode for 5 says nothing, just drops it on the table, walks away. Appreciate it. The Lightsport for 2 says it's Godwin pattern bolt gun, John. Oh, okay, very nice. Appreciate it. Of course, with that PFP, you would be well versed in that area. Canine AIDS. Sorry, Freudian slip there. Canine AIDS for 5 says, I mean this out of love, but but Hop looks like he eats squirrel meat casually.
As opposed to competitively?
Just by the by, you're walking by and Hop's chewing on something like, what you got there? Just squirrel.
Nothing. Just some squirrel.
Just whatever Sacco brings you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's usually a pair of kidneys connected by a single artery.
Yeah. Chud says, waiting for the FN, a series of emojis implying a certain country likes airplanes and buildings. Thank you, Chud.
And Nade device.
Yes. Derek Lewis has cum in his eye for $20. Says absolutely nothing. Thank you for that. Heathen from Texas for 2 says, MTL, military's tight lesbian. All right. ST Yodelin Odin for 2 says, always fun to see Focus pronounce new words. Listen, I was homeschooled. You should be thankful.
That explains a lot.
You should be thankful for the level that I am currently at.
That explains your struggle with the word grenadier at the top of the hour.
Yeah, well, whatever. My mom was watching these shows, but she did a great job. Fantastic. Definitely not her fault. She tried her best. The other kids turned out better.
She knew what words you were going to need and what words you were not going to need.
Chud for 2 says 1903 mentioned. Thanks, Richard. Now do gassy PFP. All right. Battle Rifles for 2 says, having fired the Neopup, this barely better. Like it looks barely better? Or is it, have you fired both? Because Battle Rifles has done cool things. So, I mean, I would also want to fire the Neopup. A 20mm grenade launcher sounds like fun. It's like one of those, like, I don't get really excited for shooting like regular guns. Like if somebody hands me an AR or a 2011 or something, it's like, whatever. It's like, okay, right? But a 20mm grenade launcher, like pulling the trigger and watching something explode on the other end, like there's something to that. Gosh dang it. Derek Lewis is a Fajo for 10. Says you can use channel names to get around censorship. All right. Thank you. Derek Lewis is a Fajo. Chud McGill for 2 says, Barrel is a 6.5 Grendel. Hop, give me a good recommendation. Oh, so that's another level of autism there.
Have you already got the barrel? You're looking for an ammo recommendation? Because I've just been using Ballistic Advantage and Faxon barrels, and they're fine. as far as the ammo goes, yeah, AAC's Saberblade Black Tip stuff, because they actually give you, it's a proper Hornady projectile and with Hornady BC data. Seems to work great. It's not reliable. The whole magazine problem is still an issue, but
is it accurate? Because that's the thing too. If you buy like a really expensive barrel, but you're only shooting like the ball ammo through it, like, you know, that's
simultaneously the cool and not cool thing about, you know, Gucci cartridges like 6-ARC and 6.5 Grendel. 6.5 Grendel, the PSA AAC Saberblade match stuff is cheaper than the European ball ammo. So you have almost no excuse not to be shooting exclusively match ammo, which is like 1 to 2 MOA depending on your barrel, your setup.
I got sent a mystery meat 6.5 Grendel barrel one time. I think it was from Gary. And I had a bunch of, this was like 5 years ago when you could get steel case ammo. That barrel would not do better than like 12 MOA. Like it could not hit a 8-inch steel plate at 100 yards.
See, I'd be tempted to blame the steel case, but I've had, at least out of my Ruger American 6.5 Grendel, I got pretty damn good 10-shot groups with, who is it? PPU. And PPU match ammo, in my experience, has always been a misnomer. They call it match, even though it's terrible. But their 6.5 Grendel match out of that Ruger American 10-shot 1.5 to 2 MOA groups, like it was actually accurate. And I was like, dang, maybe there's something to this cartridge. Not that you need it, but
now they're going to be discussing halting exports because PPU is Serbia. So,
great.
Yeah, more world politics to play with our.
Yeah.
Randy of Visa Pretend says Ben is also a GM in arguing. I wish I would have come up with that I invented logic line. Instead, I just called them a slag. All hail Ben. PSI is serving a bunch of nothing burgers lately. Well, I mean, PSI, okay, so we're going to talk about it later, but PSI blocked me and he's complaining about everybody else blocking him. Like, come on, man. You blocked me for asking you to come on this show, PSI. You blocked me. I was very nice. I was like, hey, you should come on the show. We should talk about it. And
did you see the irony of him complaining about having a stalker while simultaneously stalking us?
Yeah, well, actually stalking us, yes. Gideon Young for 5 says, Richard, well-dressed Floyd. All right. I wonder what Floyd would have got on that test that we all took the other day.
I haven't watched that
blocked
video
you
yet, but I'm keen
to. Listen, okay, I feel bad after that because I got a low score. People were schooling me, and I feel like a leftist cuck over here.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers.
Okay, so I think what he did is I think he might have had a blockchain with anyone that follows me.
Yeah.
So I know that there's ways to do that because like my followers, some of my followers got blocked. Yeah,
that's what Mark LaRue has for me.
Anybody who follows or interacts with
we ran an experiment. Anybody who follows me and then Mark LaRue gets blocked by Mark LaRue. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Damn. Focus Trip's wife for 2 says, have you seen Ben's new post about Nunya? None your damn business. Got him. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Oh, they just want to ask Hop questions. Heathen from Texas for 5 says, Hop, I'm planning to get a lightweight 300 Win Mag. First off, just stop. Stop right there, dude. No.
It's not too late to retract your super chat, my friend.
He's just trolling at this point. What can and ammo do you recommend? Yes, Hop. What can do you recommend for 300 Win Mag?
I think what you should do is deliberately get a bad one, like a JK Armament or something like that, and then blow it up and then post the video and get tons and tons of engagement because people will love that.
Oh no, Nemo Arms.
The Nightmare?
What's there? The Nightmare. Yeah, with like, what is that? Like an 8-inch barrel or something retarded?
It's an 8 or a 12-inch barrel. It's the one that OCL uses to just destructively test their 30 cal.
Yeah, do that with an aluminum JK Armament can. And honestly, they would probably like it as well because they're weird like that. Like they would be like, dude, that's so funny that you blew up one of our cans.
What's that company that was trying to make the really, really cheap suppressors? That was like,
well, Whip Machine or Poor Boy.
You know, Whip Machine. It's called a Dirty 30, I think. It's just like a dirt cheap, simple. $300 maybe.
They claim also that would be funny because they claim no barrel length restrictions and full auto because it's just a solid chunk of stainless steel. So
they also claim hearing safe on everything they make, which can't be true.
Dude, they have that one micro can that they sell for like $199, but it's like it's half the size of this microphone. I think they call it like something stupid like the Canuter valve.
Yeah, the Canuter valve. Yeah, they have weird.
Hearing safe. It's like, okay, all right. I was tempted to get one of their 9mm cans only because of how cheap they were and how little I care about like 9mm performance. Like, if it's of any notable size, it'll be quiet enough with subsonic ammo.
I'm hoping with the tax stamp changes this year that used cans will become something prevalent on the market.
If transfer times are still like a week or under, maybe. But I think level 3 dealers or NFA dealers are going to be charging like $100 transfer fees for those because that's what they're currently at. So like my local dealer, if I want to get something that's out of their system, I have to pay $100 transfer fee, which is going to kind of kill the value proposition of your $400 or $500 suppressors. Maybe if somebody's selling like a RC3 for $800, maybe that's something worth. But you know,
I know that was one of the main impediments to selling suppressors. That if you were selling within state, it was one stamp. If you were selling out of state, you had to transfer with a stamp to an out of state dealer and then another stamp from that dealer to the buyer, I believe. So it was sort of like, hey, you want my used can? I'll give you a great deal on it, but then you're paying $400 in stamps. So if that process becomes free and stays relatively short, it could happen. I mean, I've got suppressors I'm never going to use again that like maybe I could get a little bit of money out of, but yeah, probably not that much. If you're patient, wait a year or two, the prices will go down. If you're not patient, go to the Silencer Shop free tax stamp promotion page and see if there's anything on there that you can live with.
Front toward enemy, that is the most offended I've ever been having my eyes assaulted with that statement. Gosh, dang it, man. Okay, well, yes. All right. So a little bit of backstory about this, I suppose, is I don't know what the original beef between PSI and Ben Stoeger is, but I believe this goes back a long ways when they were both banned by USPSA for doing various things. PSI has never really liked Ben, from what I can tell. But he's been going after him for a lot of different things. And yeah, I don't know. This is the clip that's going viral that people are talking about, the people are upset about, coming to conclusions about. And I do want to exercise a little bit of caution here, being that we've seen this sort of thing before play out in the public eye with things like, what's the biggest case? Probably Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, where very selective pieces of information come out and paint a very specific picture. When this is, keep in mind, this is a wacky clip. This is wacky. And we're going to talk about generalities here that, of course, you should not be doing these things, okay? Of course, right? Everybody knows that. Well, what's going to happen in this clip you should not do. But there's the possibility of additional information, okay? Like, if you haven't seen this before, just get ready. Just get ready. All right.
So before you go, can I get some background? Is PSI like an entity that's been around for a while? Because this is the first time that I've heard of them. I assumed it was like a brand new channel or, account that was created specifically for this, dirt.
No,
this digging up dirt event.
Well, so PSI is a man who you could probably guess the name if you read some of the super chats. I would never dox him, but you can figure out who he is. He was banned by USPSA 5 or 6 years ago for trying to take them down, essentially. He's been around for a long time. He's been accused of many things. You can check his followers and realize that 95.5% of his 50,000 Instagram followers are inactive, meaning that they are all almost certainly bought and paid for. For instance, an account with 50,000 followers gets a quarter of the likes that my page with 7,000 does, right? So either everybody that ever followed him just no longer interacts with his post, or the vast majority of his followers are bought and paid for. Now, he's come out with some good information in the past. He's one of the gentlemen who did a lot of the work with some of the SIG documents with the FOIA requests and stuff like that from different police departments. And so he is a real person. He has been around for a while, but it seems like Ben, so he tried to go after this channel because he's logging our Discord as we speak right now, coping and seething. And then he blocked me and everybody who followed me, apparently. But yeah, so he's a person. He's a little bit sensitive. He doesn't like getting called out for the things that he's done, but he will call out other people. And my stance is very simple, right? You can call out anyone for any reason at any time. Just don't be sensitive about it. Okay? You know, it's like I totally expect to be criticized in the way that I criticize other people, right? I have to do that. Playing fair. So video of, now this is also where things get a little dangerous, is I have 20 plus screenshots from his story that I had to go and screenshot from another service. Cause again, I am banned or blocked by him. So I have to log into like a stealth service to actually go and see all this stuff. So when he says like video of abuse by Ben Stoeger, like that's a pretty specific claim. And we're getting like close to liable, close to defamation if some of this stuff is untrue or knowingly untrue, right? So just caution.
I mean, you know it. Once you admit it, you have it too. Admit it, and you have it.
Admit what?
That I invented logic. You will never win. Never. Stop. I invented it.
You invented
You can't win. Ever. Nope, I did it.
You invented
God damn it, you're stubborn. Just do it. Fuck you, do it. Do it! Do it! Do it now! I will not stop screaming until you admit I invented logic.
Stop.
I won't!
Stop.
No, you can't fuck with me.
Stop.
You can't fuck me around at all. I know you're not sad. Stop fucking
Why
with
are
me.
you yelling at me?
Because you knew you loved me at first sight too, so stop fucking with me. You love me at first sight, just say it.
I don't know what
Once
you're
you say it,
doing.
you have it. Just say it, you have it. Say
I
it.
have no idea.
Say it and you have it. Say it.
I have
Say it.
Okay, so
It's not
Again,
funny. I'm sorry. I was laughing at something else I thought about earlier.
listen, okay, generically, right? Listen, okay? Don't yell at women. Generically, right?
Yeah, it doesn't help.
It's just, it's if you're yelling at your significant other, like it happens, right? People get upset, people get passionate, and, you know, they do yell sometimes. No, I'm going to be clear. I've never yelled at my wife that way, but I've been frustrated. We've gotten into arguments before. We've been married for 5 years. Of course, that sort of things happen. Never to this extent, which is why I would say it's very unwise to get into a yelling altercation like this with your significant other. However, that is a 30-second clip where there's something after that and something before, and that's it. Now, I would say that, at least from there, again, don't do this. It's bad. Don't generically yell at your significant other. Don't do that. I just want to be cautious that perhaps there's something before and after there that might be explanatory. Keep in mind that this also happened, I believe, 5 years ago. Is the time frame of this event?
Well, surely
So-
by now his patent on the concept of logic has come through, so he can actually prove it. At the time, perhaps it was
Yeah.
pending, and he was sort of like trying to convince her, like, no, I did invent logic. We just got to wait for the patent office to sign off on it. But now,
Right.
surely he can back that up.
Oh, also, to be clear, also, don't do drugs, kids. That's another thing that I forgot to mention, but don't do drugs, kids.
You could do a little drugs.
Good cop, bad cop. Hope you can do a little drugs. Just a little drug. You can have a little drugs as a treat. But yeah, you know, about the logic thing on its own with no context might be the wackiest sentence of all time. Like, it sounds like something you would hear a homeless person arguing outside of 7-Eleven in downtown Portland, right? With like passerbys, like yelling in the street while he's like throwing a piss bottle at him. That's what it sounds like. However,
It sounds like something I would say.
so I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, dude, these are fire lines. Let me write that down real fast. I gotta use this one.
I am going to use this one the next time I get heated.
Yeah,
I didn't
Admit
realize
it,
you could just make claims like this.
Well, I actually have already used this line, ironically, on my wife.
As a logic
it-
enjoyer, I mean, come on.
A smidge of drugs. You can have a smidge of drugs.
Just as, yeah.
I mean, you know it. Once you admit it, you have it too. Admit it, and you have it.
Admit what?
Yeah,
But
but this
invented
is
logic,
clearly in
you will never
reference to
win.
something that happened, right?
Never.
You have it, I have it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, admit it and you have it. Admit it and you have it. I don't know if it's talking about. Yeah. Again, who knows? Who knows what this conversation is about, man?
Probably about autism. I bet he saw the Tylenol thing coming from years in advance.
He is just ahead of the curve. Admit it. We both have it.
Yeah.
I invented logic. I invented Tylenol.
Stop. I invented it.
You invented
can't win.
the-
Ever. Nope, I did it.
You invented
God damn it, you're stubborn. Just do it. Fuck you, do it. Do it now!
Now, the slapping a table, okay, listen.
Yeah,
it
could not
seems
be me.
childish.
Could not be me.
It seems childish, okay? But okay,
Seems
as somebody
effective.
I've never been in a crazy toxic relationship like this. Okay. Like it's obvious it's a toxic
I
relationship.
will not
It's bad.
stop screaming until you admit I invented logic!
Okay, but
Just out of context, what a fucking line.
yeah. Yeah, again, but it seems silly to me. He's not threatening her. He is being very loud and petulant. And we do not have any context about what came before or after, right? So it seems immature, a very toxic relationship from 5 years ago. So, like, here's the people are really, really bent out of shape about this clip. And to me, like if Pop said, "Oh yeah, I yelled at somebody 5 years ago," I'd be like, "Only 5 years ago?" Like not
I yelled
this
at somebody earlier today, probably.
I was gonna say not earlier than this. I think people are obviously really sensitive about it because he's yelling at like his significant other. But then a lot of these same people will be fine if the gender roles are reversed or whatnot. Now, again, generically, don't yell at your significant other. It never works out well. But people have been in passionate, bad relationships. And this just seems like another bad relationship. And, I don't want to, blame the female, but it usually does take two to tango in some way. So there could be context that we're missing. It's obvious that there's something before and there's something after, but we only get this 30-second clip for some reason, right?
I would hope that this is like the fight that ended a relationship and that they're not together anymore. Because
they're not together
energy,
anymore.
Yes, surely. The energy that I get from this is that they have been arguing for a while, and at some point, it's from the way that Ben is talking, it kind of sounds like he's just realized that this is a lost cause, and so he's just given up on trying to actually mollify his interlocutor. He's just like, "Oh, okay, fuck it. This conversation is essentially over, and you're going to be yelling at me. Then I'm gonna,
yeah." He's like,
I'm just going to say whatever comes into my brain. So that's the impression that I get.
I do find it funny too that Ben's calling her stubborn because I'm pretty sure he's one of the most stubborn individuals on the planet. So probably a little bit of the kettle calling the pot black, or however that saying goes.
But yeah, I mean, you get that impression that he maybe tried for 20 minutes to use proper formal logic, the three tenets, the ethos, logos, pathos, and he tried and it wasn't working. So eventually he's just like, you just aren't equipped to have this conversation with me. And
okay, actually, no, you're right. I take it back. Ben did nothing wrong. Women and logic do not go hand in hand. And yes, I'm going to use a major generalization there. So yeah, no, you're right. He tried to use logic for probably 30 to 40 minutes. She wasn't getting it and then resorted to violence. Violence of words.
Most people are not, I guess you have to, I think, not necessarily be educated in logic. It's possible to have sort of like an implicit understanding of it, but like it does help if you're going to have a productive conversation and you're going to use the tenets of formal logic, the person you're talking to has to also have those. Otherwise it doesn't work, because you could use all of the appropriate methods of argumentation. And if your debate opponent doesn't know them, then you have to resort to pounding on the table and raising your voice a little bit.
Yeah, we've all been there with certain people.
Some of us have been there.
Well, I don't do it to my significant other, my wife, but I do it all the time to people on the internet, but to much less avail. Listen, online commenters are far worse in arguments than women in general. Because listen, let's be real here. There are no women in this chat right now. Zero.
There are no women on the internet. Well, not this internet. They have their own. There's a woman internet out there. It's mostly Facebook and Pinterest, but
there's one woman right there.
It's like women bathrooms. It's much nicer.
Yeah, they got couches in there.
Yeah,
I know who that is. So.
I won't. No, you can't fuck with me. You can't fuck me around at all. I know you're not sad. Stop fucking with me.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you knew you loved me at first sight too, so stop fucking with me. You love me at first sight, just say it.
I don't know what
Once you say it, you have it. Just say it, you have it. Say it.
I have no idea.
Say it and you have it. Say it. Say it.
Interesting usage of the word "to." You love me at first sight.
too, saying that he did, right?
Or that there's another woman who also loved him at first sight, and she's like, "Why does that woman like you so much?" And he's like, "Because that's just the kind of guy I am, baby. You know, admit it. You felt the same way."
Well, yeah, Rad's right. It sounds like a breakup fight. It sounds like the breakup fight, and then they had a fight, and then they went their separate ways. Because I mean, listen, obviously the relationship wasn't working out. No matter like who was more wrong than the other person, like it seems like it wasn't a good fit. So all for the best. But the only, I guess, main issue that I have with PSI about all this stuff is that PSI wants to like completely cancel all of Ben's classes and personal and professional relationships and all that other sort of stuff. And, you know, he kind of went after me as well. So I feel a little bit need to point out some of his doings or whatnot. So let's see, what's the one I'm looking at? Okay, so rather than condemning the Stoeger and his conduct, so listen, if you want me to, oh, actually, damn it, Boondock is here. Gosh, dang it, unbelievable. Rather than condemning Stoeger and his conduct, Tanfo Timmy has decided to block me, which again, PSI blocks everybody, so I don't really think you can complain about that. Apparently, it is bad when Jake Martins abuses a woman, but totally fine for Stoeger. And again, I don't think that in any way equates to abuse. Like, again, I agree, we should not, in general, yell at our significant other, right? I think that's an easy normie take. Like, in general, we shouldn't yell at our significant other. But if you do, and then you break up because you have an argument and you can't get past it, like, you know, is that abusive? You could say maybe it was a toxic relationship. But again, saying that Ben Stoeger is a abuser, which comes with all sorts of other connotations publicly, I feel like that unless there's more evidence out there of him doing abusive things, that one video clip, while funny, isn't much more than that.
It's already pretty difficult to argue that, like, a conversation rises to the level of abuse, right? The idea of like gaslighting or emotional abuse or emotional manipulation is already hard to justify because it's like, you know, just fucking leave, right? If he's being mean to you, just walk away. That's not really necessarily abuse yet. Of course, I'm sure that there are ways that it could become that, but like, as far as we know, he didn't just like beat the shit out of her or something. So abuse is a strong word to apply based on a 40-second clip of an argument.
Yeah,
during
probably
which Stoeger sounds
longer.
Bemused more than angry, I would say.
Well, and to be fair, like I've gotten in heated arguments with my friends, and I don't consider that abusive. Although I do gaslight them to keep them around, of course. All the manipulation tactics are out, but I don't consider that abusive.
And I mean, I just put on extra foundation so people can't tell that you've been hitting me.
Listen, okay, if I could reach you with my fists, it would be more likely that people would believe you, huh?
Hop,
sitting there, I have to bring out the stool to have a fisticuffs with Hop.
He uses his dwarf physique to rip a phone book in half and then beat me on the torso with both halves at the same time. It's awful.
He's dual wielding the yellow pages.
He goes yellow pages akimbo, dude. It's not cool. I would tell PSI about it, but unfortunately, I've been blocked.
Well, yeah, there's another element that people don't want to discuss, but women do it a lot in the reverse. And I know a lot of people who stuck around with women that were taking advantage of them and doing terrible things to them for way too long. And usually they kind of get a pass to it because it's like, well, you're a big guy. You wouldn't be taken advantage of by a 5'1" Latina or, you know, other ethnicities, I'm sure, do it as well, but there seems to be a pattern with some of them.
Flip-flop is a deadly weapon.
If you're one of Stoeger's cowardly friends that blocks me after I've called you out, then you use a second account to look at my stories, that pretty much confirms you're a coward. Which is funny because I have to use a like stealth Instagram app to actually view your stories because you've blocked me. It's the other way around. Respond to my message. Well, this is just that website that I have to use. Let me see. So here's the go. Okay, if your range, department, or agency is having a Stoeger class soon, you should show them this video. And again, it's just weird to me because at some point you have to say, well, people are allowed to function in society even if they have a verbal altercation with somebody, right? Even if they go like one step too far and you're like, hey man, that was like mean of you. You know, it doesn't change their ability to teach or to communicate or to do like, their 9-to-5 job or whatever it is,
This is one of those things where I think you set yourself up for failure when you put somebody on a pedestal where, if you really wanted Ben Stoeger to not just be like a shooting coach, but also some sort of paragon of morality, and then he does something that seems mean to you, then you're devastated. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know he was mean. It's like, sure, he's mean. You watch his videos, he's mean to everybody. And that's one of the reasons he's popular and people like him, but you really didn't want him to be. So when something like this drops, you have two choices. One is to immediately drop him completely because you can't handle it. The other one is to dig your heels in and be like, no, actually, he was justified. Whereas the normal person is like, oh, okay, so he got into a fight one time. Who hasn't? I never followed him for his relationship advice because he never gives any. So why do I care if his relationships are good or bad? It's not important.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he has a tattoo of the Theotokos on his arm or gives dad advice in every video. That would be a little bit more hypocritical. But
yeah, you're not paying him to come over and have Sunday dinner with your grandma. You're paying him to teach you how to shoot better.
My grandma would love Ben.
Mine would too.
I'm pretty sure Ben would love your grandma. Maybe in a way that you would find inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe I wouldn't do that actually, now that you mention it.
The belt stays on, even with Granny.
Just like,
oh, no.
I'm not going to the bathroom and leaving them in the living room together, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Be pulling out the butterscotch candy.
So this is really odd, too, because then PSI goes on to brag about how the Stoeger abuse video, and again, he's using the word abuse, him, not me, is on track to top the Vogel post in terms of views. So he's bragging about how many views it gets. Which seems like if I think he's taking like the altruistic, I am doing this to protect the heckin' women from abuse online, and Ben Stoeger is a heckin' abuser, in his words. But look how many likes my story got, guys. Look how many shares I've gotten, guys, as I bought 40,000 fake followers.
Yeah,
look at it, guys.
That's gotta help. I think it's more a function of like when the Vogel stuff dropped, my reaction was, who? When the Stoeger stuff dropped, I was like, no, not my life coach Ben Stoeger, not him, anybody but him. I don't know who.
Yeah, there's only about 20 years separating you two. It's gonna happen.
There's no way he's that old.
He's like mid-40s, I think.
So,
oh, that's right. You're an old man. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm turning 30 this year, so I think I'm just gonna do a live stream and then end it on the 25th of this month.
I mean, when you turn 30, you're gay dead, and obviously that would be a real blow to you. So I'd suggest getting it over.
He keeps going after everybody. No responses so far from Lucas Botkin, Joel Park, David Wampler, or Stoeger's publisher on his conduct. Again, listen, man, like generically, don't yell at your significant other. It's a bad thing. Don't do it. Also, it was 5 years ago, and I'm also not sure what it has to do with his shooting manuals for helping with shooting. Anyways, Lucas Botkin is particularly ironic since he allegedly left T-Rex over a sexual harassment of his wife matter, but uses Stoeger as a mouthpiece. I don't know about that. I think Lucas and Ben have a purely professional relationship that has to do with Stoeger's shooting performance. I think he's drawn some. He put that up as well, implying that Ben is more dangerous than a bear, which again, if you're trying to make a defamation case or a libel case or something like this, useful to have. He keeps posting other stuff to his story. As predicted, he won't address the video except getting his minions to intimidate the victims. Now, that's another allegation right there. Because he's saying that, I'm sure Ben's followers, who are already like my followers, who are a little bit more aggressive than the average folk, right? They do go after people, for sure. I don't ever tell them to do that, to be clear to YouTube TOS. I would never do that. But going after people like Ben is going to get you a lot of hate. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that he's getting his minions to intimidate the victims. That's a leap too far for me.
The victims plural, the nameless victim singular that we don't know who they are or where they are.
We will get into it. There's more women speak coming up. Do not worry. Do not worry.
He's also claiming that he is a victim as well.
That's
all
right.
Very possible.
Now, I don't want to get political here. I would never
do it.
this is one of those things that I feel like we see a lot from more left-leaning people, which is that like you refuse to even accept the non-political information from somebody who is a political opponent. It seems like if you say Ben Stoeger's a bad man, it doesn't like women, and you are a women defender, then you'd be like, okay, well, I don't like this guy anymore. You could still listen to his videos about shooting advice and still, gain from that. But we see over and over again on like SRA Reddit accounts and all this stuff where people are like, can somebody recommend me a gun tuber who isn't political because I don't want to get information from a political gun tuber? And it's like, hey man, just, if you're really that keen on actually learning or getting better, just accept the information and ignore the political aspect, right? Surely that's not difficult. I think none of us have that issue. If we see actionable information about either shooting skills or product reviews or whatever, I think almost all of us can be like, okay, interesting. Oh, that was a Carl Casarda video. Okay. I don't agree with everything that he says, but hey, you know what? It's a legit review of a product I was thinking of buying. So I'll take that under advisement. There is that weird mental illness of like, I'm sorry, I cannot listen to this advice because it came from a person who doesn't vote like I do. Does anybody actually have that problem?
There is a little bit of a horseshoe theory because I find myself probably further right than most people. But there is a little bit of that where I find some people like so disturbing and disgusting that I actually just don't want to listen to anything they have to say. Even if I can recognize that they have good information, I just avoid them in principle, right? So I can see that for some people, but that list is very short, like very, very short, where I can't separate the art from the artist. Because I don't need to see a Roman Polanski film, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. So I'm like, I don't care if
nonsense anyway. Who cares? I think part of it might just be my ego is a little bit hurt because I see this said about like me at Brass Facts. People be like,
100%.
Can you recommend?
Well, actually, you honestly, you shouldn't have come on this show. Did you see where they were complaining that we are quote unquote affiliated or something like that? They were really disappointed in you. The Reddit was really disappointed in you for being affiliated with this show.
I mean, I'll affiliate with fucking anybody. I have no standards, but yeah, I mean that's. If someone's like
insult to me,
if someone says that I'm too political for them, then I think they may be lost because I don't generally have the time. I ruthlessly edit everything as short as possible. I don't have time to get into politics. So if I'm too much for you, holy shit, you're gonna have to look for that weird guy with like the single like lens on his face.
Yeezy, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look for somebody like that who's constantly reassuring you, "Don't worry, we're on the same team."
Don't worry, I'm not going to Guantanamo Bay. It's like, well, you're an American citizen, so that's probably not going to happen to you unless you're a terrorist. Which, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Okay, here we go. So yeah, he continues to go after Skyhorse Publishing, Tony Lyon, Uncertain, Lucas Bach, and Joe Bark, all the guys. All right. Now this is just, he keeps reposting this stuff, which is like, all right, like, if true, there might be something here, right? So Faith, Hope, and Emily says he is a very dangerous person. I was with him for 1.5 years. We lived together. I had never been more scared or abused in my life. Why were you living with him as an adult woman? My daughter is still in therapy after him. Please take this seriously. It is not to be joked about. If true, if something really bad did happen here, then yeah, of course, go after people who abuse women and children, right? I think that's a very normal take. But just posting this sort of thing, like without any backing or evidence, because not to be mean, but I'm not a believe all women type of guy. I think that sort of mentality gets abused really quickly.
I'll say, like, you know who needs to hear about this? It's not
the police.
Instagram. It is the cops. Yeah. So it is, like I appreciate you sharing your story on Instagram, but did you share your story with the police, with law enforcement? I feel like they're probably the ones you should.
Yeah.
Well, they don't get the views though.
That is true. You
look
don't
at the views.
Look at the views. Get a heart or reshare from law enforcement. Oftentimes you get very little. Maybe you get a cup of water while you sit in the room waiting for them to show up.
Now, Practical Shooting Inside says, posting this to add context to the Stoeger abuse video. Again, he keeps saying that word. The victim, Crystal Dunn, wanted it released after it was provided to me by another party to encourage other women to step forward and share their stories about Stoeger out of fear that he will continue to abuse women physically and psychologically. Please be supportive of her and the other women involved. And then we have this longer statement. Enough, dude. I preferred to stay silent, let the past be the past for a long time. I tried to warn a few people long ago. Others saw this video at the time. People either didn't believe me or didn't care. But recently, women came to me and I found out things you don't see here that happened to me. He went on to do them and sometimes even worse. So the time to be silent is no longer. We had arguments at times, to be sure, which, like, all right, if you're both yelling at each other, well, now I can't be upset that you were yelling at Ben and Ben was yelling at you. Like, okay. At times, for sure, I could get emotional or say mean things at times, like any person. So I can understand your point, but that was not the case here. So, I mean, but she's already admitting to getting into arguments and saying mean things to rile up Ben, and then Ben gets riled up. Like, don't be with crazy women, okay? Just don't do it. As a rule of thumb, obviously, like, you know, some people like the crazy, they like the wild stuff, and they're not like into the whole, you know, Christian paradigm of one man, one woman type of thing. So, you know, if you go down that path, though, it leads you to crazy women and crazy places like this. So just don't do it.
The tendency, the last one as well as this one, to lump physical and psychological abuse into the same category, where it's like, I mean, if you are a functioning adult, psychological abuse just be your sign to leave. Physical abuse is your sign to call the cops. Don't put them together in the same category and post them on Instagram.
Well, and I also, it's hard for me to believe too sometimes. So it's like, I was an adult woman with a job, and I chose to move in with him and just never left for 5 years. It's like, well, you know, if you were like an actual, like, you know, person with means, you weren't actually trapped there. Like, I totally agree. There are women that get into terrible situations and they feel like they're stuck somewhere. They don't have anyone to turn to, no family. And so they get essentially stuck in a place like this. But if you're like already an adult woman, already have a job, a career, ostensibly, right? And you choose to move in with somebody, as soon as things get bad, you just take you and your daughter out of there. You just leave, right? First sign, you just go. You just get out. Because that's on you to protect your daughter. What led up to that video was hours more of what you see here. So yes, they were having a long argument. No one, including his family, would believe me. No one would help me. The video was taken and sent to them, in which the parents finally came to help. When opposing a big voice that is scary to speak up, he has already had proxies send me messages and videos of myself. That's very disgusting if true. But after the things I learned he did to others, I had to give permission for this to come out. PSI was sent it a while ago and respected my wishes to keep it private after asking me about it. But with this recent information, I have to say something now. I don't blame you for questioning what you see on the internet. We should never welcome false indictments. Well, that's very nice of you to say. But know that there are other women out there with only the confidence for whispers because no one wants to believe them and no one wants to care when people like or stand to gain something from the person in question. My hope is they will see that it is okay to come forward. If they are afraid to tell their story at this point, F it, I will be their voice.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they would be scared to tell their story to someone like law enforcement.
Well, I think the problem is that there is not actually any illegal activity. At worst is what we probably, like, that video is probably the worst clip that exists. Like, that's the most damning clip that exists, which is he yelled at me and slammed a table several times.
Yeah, you know, maybe there's some kind of activity that just was not captured on camera, but it does seem like the gist of it is, oh, he's not very nice. But I suspect, you know, I mean, Ben Stoeger got famous at a fairly young age, like on TV. It is strongly possible that he's just like, I don't need to play nice because I know my own value as an influential person. So yeah, maybe he's a jerk, but like, yeah, is it? I don't know. This makes it sound like he's a mafia don. He's like, if you
I will kill you.
If you tell people I'm mean to you, all my family will have you taken out. Like, I don't know.
I can just
also when it says with a family
stroking a cat saying, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, the video was sent to them, in which parents finally came to help.
Well, now I can see this
his
because
family would believe me. No one would help me. The video was taken and sent to them, in which parents finally came to help. Her parents, his parents. Sounds like the family.
Well, actually,
his family
you know,
was like,
I take back everything that I said about women not having logic. Hot take. Both parties could be shit people. Sometimes people just aren't very nice, you know, and sometimes crazy finds crazy.
Yeah, so say that one of the wisest pieces of advice that I always hear from a friend is that water seeks its own level.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be a total asshole. You might be a total asshole, but not illegal.
Thank God I'm not dating him.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. So this is the reason why some of these guys are in the thumbnail as well. JJ Rakaza says no man should ever talk to a woman like that. Well, it depends, because if you're egalitarian, well, if I can yell at my buddies, I can yell at a woman, right? If they're ontologically equal. But if you're saying that, like, well, actually, no, you need to be a man, you need to protect women, so you should never hit a woman, you should never talk to a woman like that. Well, then I can agree with it from that perspective, the misogynist perspective. But yeah, I mean, generically, don't ever yell at your significant other. Not a good idea. Never looks good. Doesn't solve problems usually. At least I can't construct a scenario in which it does solve problems. And usually, if you're getting to the point where you are like yelling and verbally abusive to people, like probably as long as you're not married or there's not kids involved, you probably should just get out of there, dog. Joe Farewell jumps in as well. Absolutely unacceptable and disgusting. Which again, keep in context, the only actual information that we have is a 30-second clip of Ben yelling about logic and love at first sight and inventing logically loving at first sight. So, true. All she had to do was say that he invented logic.
It sounds like he was trying to have a really romantic moment and she rejected it.
That sounds logical.
Reformed Wombat jumps on, who's been on this show before as well. Brandon, hope he's doing well. The people currently working with him, ostensibly Ben, 100% know about these behavioral issues, referring to Lucas Botkin. Some of them are professing Christians, referring to Lucas Botkin. They should be calling this man to repentance. So, like, I've talked to Ben a little bit about it. I could go up to Ben and be like, man, you were mean 5 years ago to a heckin' lady. Repent now, my man. And he would be like, go away, little man. What are you doing here, dweeb? I said, it's when sinners sin. Like, as a Christian, you should politely inform them that what they're doing is wrong and incorrect. You can, give them like gentle guidance, but it's calling other people out is usually referred to people of your own religion in this way. Like when somebody falls, when it comes across like super hypocritical, and it usually doesn't help to go after people who are not your own in this way. And also, Brandon, like you told me not that long ago, like these are private matters that should be settled privately. And here you are making a public statement about it. So
what?
I think this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where like you have no reason to believe that that Ben Stoeger is a practicing religious man. It's not something he ever like talks about or brings up in his videos, right? So that seems like something that people have applied to him out of optimism. They want him to be that way because they like the other stuff that he does. So they've built up this image of him in their head, and then he acts in this way, and they say that is non-Christian. And I guess my response to that would be, when is he ever, when is he banging the drum about being a practicing Christian? It doesn't seem like it ever comes up in his videos. So you can't just be like, now I'm so disappointed that he was falsely representing himself this entire time. He wasn't representing himself. He was never making claims to personal morality or religious morality whatsoever. He talks about guns that he likes and shoots. He talks about shooting skill, right? I mean, he keeps company with faithful people. So do I. I mean, I'm fucking here talking to you right now, I assume. But like, that's not something that he makes a big part of his content. So it seems like you really want him to be a more person than he is. And so you've made up some stuff to believe about him. And now that it seems like maybe he's not living up to those ideals, you feel betrayed, but that's on you. That's on you for having that expectation. He didn't betray you. Your expectations betrayed you. That's what I would say is kind of happening in a lot of these situations.
Yeah. It's a very fine line. Like, as a Christian, you want to evangelize with people, but also you realize it just ruins your witness. If like I see Hops getting drunk and I'm like, oh, you really shouldn't do that, Hop. And I just dog you every time you do something, you say something untoward. You'd be like, John, listen, like I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, you're a loser. Get out of here.
You can say whatever you'd like. I already know I shouldn't be doing this. That's part of what makes it so fun.
Yes. The rebellious 35-year-old.
Exactly. I'm finally coming out of my shell.
It only takes 3 beers. He just keeps going on about Joel Park being a dog, basically following Ben around. I'm pretty sure they're business partners, not life partners. And Lucas
I'm basically Brassfax's Joel Park, by the way. Think about it.
Like the gay version? No,
Yeah.
sorry, the straight version.
Well, like he doesn't know how to like work on his own gun, so I have to do it for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Brassfax says my faith has been destroyed by going to Catholic school for 12 years for that exact reason. People see hypocrisy, man, and it does not go well. Does not go well, especially if you're like a kid in the system and you see how the system like actually treats people, right? Absolutely, probably as many says the Catholic schools or what is it? Most atheists come out of Catholic school or something like that, which is sad. It's sad, but that is unfortunately the truth about it. Now, another allegation being made, and this sort of behavior I do find disgusting. Okay, like as somebody who's very boring, I've only ever been with my wife. My wife's only ever been with me. I find like this sort of behavior like actually repugnant. It's true, because it's just a random allegation being said online, which again, pretty damn close to something like defamation. One thing I continue to hear is Stoeger sharing private nudes of women he has known, likely without their consent. Again, that's an allegation. With others, I have seen various messages, including one he has sent to me unsolicited over a year ago, which that's awkward if you're sending PSI unsolicited nudes of other people or of himself, both awkward. Over a year ago, which I have informed the woman involved of the sharing. She is evaluating her options to address, because I believe this falls under a crime, being revenge porn in a lot of states. You are not allowed to share explicit images of women without their consent. Especially with exes. I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice. But yeah, don't do that. And I find that sort of thing disgusting. If true, right? Because it's just another baseless accusation thrown out into the ether.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, what you're describing is a crime, but your attempt to redress this crime seems to be, vague booking, anonymously posting to Instagram, which is like, I don't know. It's like when people say, I'm leaving this website and I'm never coming back. And the next day they're like,
they're still there.
Just got a taco bowl at the, whatever that. At the Chipotle, you're like, all right, so you didn't really.
That's disgusting, Randy. Unbelievable.
Randy, you need Jesus, good sir.
Yeah. Well, you're the one who pulled up that comment.
Because I wanted to laugh at him.
Damn it, I lost my train of thought because of that. Gosh dang it.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say something. I had something. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, also, okay, right. The reason why I am being like very cautious, right? A lot of this stuff sounds bad. A lot of it's like in the right framing, in the right lighting, looks bad. It looks damning, right? But, not that I have any inside information, but I would be cautious because much like other cases like this, again, I referenced the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation a little earlier, it is very possible that there will be a response to all of this with additional context and information that may dispel or alleviate some of the concerns you may or may not have. So, if all this stuff is true, you can say it's damning and it looks bad. Totally fine, totally fair and valid. But I would just wait. If you're somebody who is up in arms right now, if you are somebody who is like, damn, we got to cancel Ben and get him out of here. I'm canceling my classes right now and I'm burning his books as we speak. I would just hold off for a little while longer. I would just wait, maybe with some additional information and some additional context, you might be persuaded to not be quite so angry, to put down those pitchforks.
Now we can't even pronounce the word pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
Like pillow and milk.
And listen,
yeah,
okay,
have we not seen, if you're a video game person, even generally aware of like the video game thing, there's a lot of big creators that got canceled, and maybe at least half of them, waited for the fire to die down, and then they posted response videos that pretty comprehensively debunked the cancellation attempt. There was Super Mega was the big one, right? Like some psycho attempted to cancel the Super Mega guys, and then after a while they released a very extensive debunking of that. Gosh, there's another guy. Was it Pro Jared? Do you guys remember the Pro Jared thing? It's probably not your,
what was
not your
up
demo.
with that? No. Pro Jared, was that the guy who killed himself because of?
No, he's fine.
Okay, no. I was thinking of the guy that got falsely accused by Anita Sarkeesian of doing something untoward, and then he committed suicide.
Oh, could be. There was
that was years ago. That was like 10 years ago at this point.
There was the guy Jew Wario. This is like 10 years ago. Jew Wario killed himself, and everybody was really sad. And I was like, "Ah, shit, that guy was such a nice dude." And then after he killed himself, a bunch of people were like, "Nah, he's a rapist." I was like, "Whoops." Now I feel bad. But yeah,
I feel bad for feeling bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, just every time something happens, give it a year or two, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad that happened." Or, wow, okay, never mind. I shouldn't have celebrated that.
Yeah.
You're only away from being wrong about everything you think and feel right now.
So yeah, with that, Gamergate PTSD trigger. True. But with that, Alex Halauka, I think is how I pronounce that, but he got accused of doing some untoward things and being creepy towards women or something like that. Killed himself. And then later came out like, oh, it was just like he was awkward. Because he got bullied by the Gamergate crowd back in 2015, 2016 timeframe, he killed himself.
It's a good thing none of us are awkward with women, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Lock me up now. Fortunately, I'm married. So, gosh, okay. Honestly, total aside, but listen, if I had to date in 2025, I probably would just go. So,
I would just start legitimately straight up quoting Napoleon Dynamite, just the whole "are you drinking 2% milk" thing. That's the smoothest line I can think of off the top of my head.
Maybe I get you in Brass Fax's relationship now that you mention it. Maybe in 2025 it just makes sense.
It's easier, I'll tell you that.
I gotta watch this one more time though.
I mean, you know it. Once you admit it, you have it too. Admit it, and you have it.
Admit what?
That I invented logic. You will never win. Never. Stop. I invented it. You can't win. Ever. Nope, I did it. God damn it, you're stubborn. Just do it. Fuck you, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. I will not stop screaming until you admit I invented logic. I won't. No.
Now, okay, a funny story. 16-year-old John working in a grocery store. The night before, I had forgotten to rotate the milk and stock the ice cream, which was on sale, okay? And 65-year-old Paul, like days away from retirement, comes in the next day, lets me have it to this degree, right? To this degree that we see on camera now, like yelling, threatening, like actual threats, like wants to take me out, behind the store that I'm working at, because I'm 16-year-old boxman. I was just being lazy the night before, right? Never at any point was that verbally abusive, and we still work together after that. So I mean,
this is a coworker. This is not
no. This was my boss. This was my boss.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I had a lot of fun.
Also very inappropriate. Like, don't do that to your workers. Okay, don't threaten to assault your workers. But at the time, 16-year-old John was like, oh, "This isn't a big deal, dude. Like, it's some milk and some ice cream that we sell in this store. Like, we have more of it. Like, it's all right." But
I had some really formative experiences when I worked at a grocery store when I was 16. One of them is the like exact moment that I stopped being a liberal, because I was raised in a very, liberal progressive household. And there was this moment that I had at my job when I was in high school where I was like, so that's just horse shit then.
You're like, oh wait, it's
everybody
all
should
nonsense.
Have one of those.
No, you can't fuck with me. You can't fuck me around at all. I know you're not sad. Stop fucking with me.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you knew you loved me at first sight too, so...
You see, he could logically infer that she was faking with that thing that he had invented.
Yeah, you can always tell.
Stop fucking with me. You love me at first sight, just say it.
Well, somebody else in the comments says, yeah, it's like the crying, whimpering. It's like while getting at your camera to record or whatnot. It's like,
Once you say it, you have it. Just say it, you have it. Say it.
I have no idea.
Say it and you have it. Say it. Say it.
Man, I really hope Chub Logic covers this, man, because like all of these different, like he does a series, which I don't even think I can say the name of on live.
We're only an hour and 15 in, so I don't know what it is. If it's the F slur or a different slur. There's too many slurs to keep track of.
One of those words that Zoomers are like afraid to say out loud. It's a grape review series, but it's
you can say rape. No. You can say rape.
I know I can say rape. I just don't want to put you in a bad situation.
No. I don't know how YouTube works. Okay. I said like
no one does.
I said rape and like 100 other slurs in the first 15 minutes of a stream, green across the board.
I mean, rape is a crop, right? It's a staple crop. that they produce. They make oil and fuel.
And
rape.
They make rape.
Yeah, rapeseed.
Yeah, rapeseed. It's one of the most important staple crops that is a precursor to a lot of stuff. So I feel like if we're talking about that, then we should be totally in the clear.
Oh,
very high.
So if you say,
oil.
I've had a lot of rape in my life, like that's a normal. That's good.
I mean, it could be that you're out on the fields threshing.
And,
just getting my rape in.
Just is good lube, good rape lube.
All right, never mind. You know what? I'm not even gonna.
Just out here collecting some rape. 20-pound box of rape.
Bailing up.
You bail up rape? Is it
It's a plant.
See,
I don't know.
Okay.
Go back to the message where somebody said,
like.
"Goddamn, y'all are sheltered," because we don't know how rapeseed works, so we must be pretty damn sheltered.
Is it actually a reference to how it's fertilized?
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
You want to know why they call this? You want to know why they call this the rape field?
No, you got to ask Monsanto about that, because you want to know how Monsanto's.
I don't want to know about Monsanto.
GMO crops get into everybody else's crops. That might be a little closer to what you're talking
about. Losing my train of thought here.
I have that.
Nick says over on Ko-Fi says, "Love the streams. Can't watch tonight. Catch the VOD tomorrow at work." Well, I hope you have a good time with that. I hope have your headphones in, okay? Not out. Earbuds, okay? PSI sucks.
At the 1 hour and 15-minute mark, the R word gets bandied about pretty heavily.
Listen, okay? We have a lot of rape to collect, okay? And there's too few rapers to collect.
No, okay. Rape. There's a whole episode of Top Gear.
If I collect rape, am I the rapist? No, what do you call somebody who collects rape?
I would say something like the rape master or something like that. Probably
the rape master. Okay, perfect.
There was an episode of Top Gear where because I guess there's less stigma over there or whatever, but like they plant a whole field of rape and harvest it, and like that's the conceit of the episode of Top Gear, because they're like, hey, could we make our own fuel out of rapeseed? But knowing
rape
Jeremy
is a
Clarkson,
fuel source. Is that like G Fuel?
Jeremy Clarkson,
can I make a rape fuel brand where it's like G Fuel but rape fuel?
Yeah, I think so. You'd have to probably. I mean, you wouldn't be able to sell that to a Sinclair or a Chevron. You might have to open your own gas station in order to get away with that. But I think you could probably do it.
I think rape fuel is just prime, isn't it?
Fentanyl. PSI sucks micropenis says PSI is the kind of guy who sniffs his own cum socks. He's a mega fag who hasn't gotten laid without paying money for a whore. Wow. Okay. Thank you, PSI. Over on Ko-Fi. All right. PSI is a Jew fag. Says PSI is the guy who fondles himself while talking about Funko Pops and will get unironically upset when you don't watch the new Soy Wars TV show. Right. Fresh Pinochet says, "What is the gift for today? The timing on the one from the other night was unfortunate at times." Yes, the what is it? America World Police throwing up gif. Fresh Pinochet says, "Oh, very nice choice for tonight. In before Logic Stolen Valor." True, I have committed many. I haven't even paid the Logic patent fee, so I'm probably behind on that. PSI sucks used tampons says, "I've heard spicier language during the local gas station arguments over lotto tickets and Fent deals. F out of here with this soft ass baby shit drama. Some people need to automatically stop breathing." Okay, fair enough. Genotion says, "Started my new job today with different hours. What are the wave tops for today?" The topics for today? Rapeseed and Logic. Pinochet says, "Holy shit, listening to Ben IRL shitpost during a verbal exchange is just funny in a less than polite way. You can't win because I invented Logic. What a nerd." Or what now, nerd? True. All right. And then, well, we're going to try and get to all of these before, because we had other topics. Hop, have you seen this? Have you seen this monstrosity?
I've shot that monstrosity.
Ah, perfect. Then we can talk about it. We'll try and get through these. Boy Edison for 2 says, "Me no want to see Benjamin Shapiro in the thumbnail."
Somehow you broke my camera by doing that thing you just did.
We'll try it again. Ton Dogs for 2 says, "Hop, how many energy drinks do you have to wake up?"
2.
Oh, there you go. Listen,
1 coffee, 1 normal.
I was gonna say, you got to do the don't forget to exercise your heart. 2 sets to failure every day. Heathen from Texas for 5 says, I'm getting the 300 Win Mag for big game hunting, hence why I ask about a can and looking at a lightweight rifle. Well,
it's not okay, so it's not too dark, it's just busted. Cool.
No, it's just gone. You're low res hop for the rest of the night. I apologize. Well, I mean, if you want a can, just get a lightweight big aluminum can for it, I guess, if you want a lightweight setup. Although I don't know how hop
one
is,
of the AB10 Raptor cans with the big old reflex mount on it, so you can cover up all that exposed barrel.
That's right.
The proper answer is the only can that you need is a BR can, sir. Just slide it right over the
PR can?
No, PBR.
PBR.
Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yes, sir. Slide it right over the muzzle. Pull the trigger. Do it.
Timothy McVeigh protein powder, explosive gains for 10 says, notice this PSI stuff drops the same time Ben's channel had a strike. Guessing Derek or his minions went back and reported some of his vids. Then they can say, when will Ben respond? Well, Ben put up a video today, but Ben actually works. Like, he has a real job, not like me.
I mean,
Ben works like every day. Yeah. Mountain Caveman for 5 says, Team Ben just because PSI sounds like a soy man. Mountain Caveman. Focus Trip's wife says, only 48 seconds of yelling? Try 5+ years of being with Focus. Speaking of that, hey, you got your focus back, right, when I said that. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. And listen, I yell at you, but it's only because you don't listen. Hence why the basement. Tulip 382 for 5 says,
classic Deus Ex, I have to yell or she don't hear me.
Call Nate's dad. Listen, all right, if you knew her, you would yell at her too. Call Nate's dad and ask him if it's liable. Yes, I've heard that Nate Valhalla VFT's dad is a lawyer. Mountain Caveman for 5 says, Common Ben W. Foyds BTFO'd. Thank you, Caveman. Chuck becomes a new member. Appreciate it, sir. The Light Spore for 2 says, don't abuse your spouse, but that was funny. Yeah. Yeah, generically,
they
don't
weren't
yell
married,
at your spouse.
as far as we know.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to be yelling at your significant other anyways, because, like, if it's
you're not
over
married,
at that point,
then
just leave.
Anything you do to her is nice and legal.
You could show her the pedigree. Huge Ass for 5 says, Ben, you dropped your crown, King. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Huge Ass. Boy Anderson for 2 says, this is so not a drama, lol. Weak sauce. I'm sorry, it's the best I got, okay? That's the video. That, you know, I can't manufacture more.
This motherfucker's got to go live 5 days a week. It can't always be top shelf.
Yeah, come on, man. This is all I got this week. It's all I had saved up.
Breaking drama about us was fucking spicy
also
cereal
the
boxes.
well, he hasn't said anything more. He blocked me. That's what he did. But
Oh,
the other thing he had on, oh, did he? I never saw the video.
It's gone.
I never even saw it. But the other thing he had about Ben was Ben once said the N-word in a Facebook post in 2019.
Where he
also
said he invented logic.
I invented logic. True. But
is logic a common theme with him?
Indeed.
Well, I think in 2019, maybe there was some other stuff going on back then.
I love logic. I'm such a logic stan, if you will. So, like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to come up with something better to get me to, you know, it's that classic thing. It's like, stop. I already like him. You know, don't try to convince me. I already like the man.
Todd Docs for 2 says, I thought that was Trench yelling at Valhalla in a hotel. No, their yelling sounds very different. Oh yeah, take it, brother. My dad's a lawyer. This is not rapeseed.
Okay. All
right. Ezekiel Herrera for 5 says, geeking out during a heated argument while plastered is far from the worst thing people in the gun space do, or in general. To be honest, true.
Skibbity toilet riz. Okay.
Drifformus for 3 says, what are the group's thoughts on EC knives? SA knives? EC knives? Again, I was homeschooled. I apologize.
Well, you can't be expected to know how to pronounce a fucking acronym.
I think SA knives sounds kind of.
Thanks for defending me. I own this knife. It's a K Tactical Cringe knife that they sent in a package when I reviewed their 5-inch upper like 5 years ago. So that's what I recommend.
Oh, you got an anime poker?
Yeah,
I mean, essays are kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. Fixed knives. You always like see those people They show up to the range. They got the battle belt. They got the big old fixed blade attached to the battle belt. And then you start doing stuff, and the handle of the knife is just stabbing them in the side over and over again. And they're like, "Oh, this sucks," and they take it off their belt by the end of the day.
Or you get somebody running around with a K-bar and it bends.
Yeah, something shit like that. I mean, essays are like, oh, they make full tang blades. You got to go watch Nothing Fancy to get the whole thing, because they probably have jimping in the right places, and they got like
but that's a knife nerd question. I'm not a knife nerd.
Oh no, my camera.
It died.
Battle Rifles says gonna go common gun industry gun ego, a common gun industry medical condition. Well, perhaps Hop will fix this stuff, or the gremlins got him. Thank you, Battle Rifles. Yeah, ego's a big, listen, I think we can all say that some of us have a little too much ego going on at times. I think that's very fair. Caveman for 5 says, OMG, he's literally me. I can't love him anymore. That's right. He's literally me. Main character energy. Focus for Swipe for 5 says, everyone is taking this out of context. He's simply very passionate about his significant other uses a red dot, and she's just not listening. How funny would this be if this was after a range trip?
He was trying to explain. He's like, I put the blue painter's tape over your red dot so that you could learn target focus. And she's like, no. And he's like, you're just not getting it.
She's like, but then I can't see the target. And it's like, yes, you can. You have to look at the target, right? It's called occluded shooting.
This is like when old people or people with astigmatism are like, I can't use a red dot because the dot is blurry. And you're like, hey, not how those work.
Yeah.
You don't need to see the target in order to love it.
Moving on. Weapons damn it, he's going to get me with another one of these words.
It's not a real word.
Appurtenance. Weapons
it's not a real word. So there's no shame in saying it wrong because it's a fake made up bullshit word.
Weapons appurtenance for 2 says, damn, I should have secretly recorded my exes too. Well, of course, right? And she admits getting into arguments and saying mean things to Ben, but then gets mad when Ben says mean things to her. It's, it's hard for me to care about it when you already admit that you're both kind of assholes to each other, right?
If you're prepared to record the conversation, it suggests to me that there were conversations before where afterwards you were like, damn, I should have recorded that. But that right there was your cue to exit. That was when you should have been like,
if you're building a case against your current significant other, it's time to go.
Yep.
Izzy says, ask Hop how the data transfer is going. Are you like 7 hours away now?
Good Lord. Let me check real quick. We got one says 30 minutes and one that says an hour and a half. Yeah, it's going to be all fucking night, dude.
That's not terrible. Moonman for 5 says Richard Tito, because the feds don't sleep so long as Tito doesn't. Tuss the Third says, my uncle never verbally abused me. That's right. You were built tougher. Way tougher, Tusk.
Well, parts of him.
Parts of him. Well, parts of him were made tough. You know what I'm saying? The Lightsport for 2 says, Boondock is here to fight Hop for Brock's love.
I'd win.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I haven't like asserted myself, but if I did, I would win. But it's like out of respect that I just don't do it.
Yeah, you know that you could win, but you just haven't out of respect. Yeah.
Because I'm a good person.
Yeah. Carver says, I'm so confused. So PSI is that chick in the video? No, he's a different chick. The thing is a different thing. Among Thugs for 5 says, Ben, I use a combination of lies, manipulation, cheating, stealing, gaslighting, bullying, insulting, and flexing Stoeger. Yeah. I mean, listen, you gotta sometimes use a little bit of gaslighting.
Ethos, logos, pathos, and then the secret fourth one, gaslighting.
Boy Anderson for 2 says, unironically like Stoeger more now. Schizos unite. It's true. There we go. Broke it again. Purple Hop is gone. Buddy ex-friend for 2 says nothing. Drops and walked away. Thank you, sir. Debase for 5 says, as the Dice Man said, another satisfied customer. Another satisfied customer. Thank you, Debase. Chris Goober for 2 says Proverbs 21:19. I think I know what you mean here. Let me see if I'm right. This is the one about the contentious woman. Yep, it is. Boom. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Appreciate that, Chris. Thank you, sir. Ezekiel Herrera for 5 says, also asking cops to cancel a class because of this is hilarious considering the statistics. That's another joke I was going to make about how, cops are probably going to like him more if abuse videos actually came out, right? Because cops are going to be like, damn, one of us. Tulip for $50.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Oh, somebody sent that to me and said I had to use it for the stream, so you get it.
Disturbing.
Do it. No, I will not stop donating until you admit that I invented Super Chat. I won't. You can't fuck with me. My wife is in the other room like, what is going on in there?
I bet she's used to you being a little bit schizophrenic in the evenings.
Just a little bit. Well, she's like trying to put the kids down and they just hear me yelling.
I mean, she's also your number one super chatter, so she must be on board to some extent.
Focus Trip be in the other room.
What the fuck?
Ooh, all right. Unforced ego. Ooh, that's good. Unforced ego for 5 says Ben's obviously on the spectrum. Same. I'm not memeing. And that sounds like a typical artistic meltdown if that's actually him, even. We're all pretty sure that that's him, and we're just saying that there's more context to it, or even that, if true, big deal. But yeah, I mean, not everybody's autistic, and it does get played up a lot, but some people who are hyper-focused on a specific thing for so long, they tend to be a little bit special in their interactions, yes. Zach Dilla for 5 says, never trust women, especially ones who secretly record and post out of context clips. Yeah, well, I mean...
Yeah, you should take your woman's phone away from her. She'll love that.
Thank you, Zach Dilla. Moodman for 5 says, I am simply not sure what's going on, but they should be past tense to whoever it is. All right, fair enough. I don't need to know who these people are, but we should do away with them in Minecraft. Boy Anderson for 2 says, if this is the bar, wifey could destroy my white Oh, that's, gosh dang it. My white Well, I mean, listen, like, I've been in arguments with my wife, but, like, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, because I get angry sometimes, and I've slammed doors in my life, but, like...
I bet I know what the crucial distinction is, though. I'm going to go ahead and guess that you and your wife love each other.
She does send me super chats.
The clip we've been reviewing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah,
she financially supports her man, which is powerful. And then also you have kids and all that other stuff. So I would say that your relationship is based on a whole different paradigm than the one that we've been reviewing all night.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of this, not to make it about something else, but a lot of people's relationship, when it's not about being married or kids or something like that, it's just sex. And when the sex or craziness or infatuation is gone, then there's nothing else, right? So then you just, you start derailing and degrading until it entropies to the point where you can't fix it, which is what you see. Thank you, Boy Anderson. John Shepard for 2 says, it's
never be me.
It will be you against your will. Brass Facts will see to it.
Two things that I don't do. 1, go outside, and 2, talk to women. Those are the 2 lines in the sand I will not cross.
John Shepard for 2 says, it's very clear that PSI just has a bone to pick. Yeah, well, he's upset with people saying mean words on the internet, which, welcome to the internet, and loud noises. I think those are the 2 things that scare him the most. Buddy Friend for 2 says, Hop understands logic and isn't orthodox. Curious. Yeah, many ortho bros logic posting these days. They're everywhere online. Never met one in person, but they are everywhere online.
So that is a topic for your B channel, I would say.
Yes. No, my C channel, please. Actually, no, I lied. My D channel. That is the D channel. Gun deals would be B.
How many channels you got?
Focus clips would be C, and then Redoubt would be
channel.
D.
That's Richard's channel.
Don't forget, there's another one in there, WikiArms.
Well, yeah, but that's like a or a B.2. Don't remind me about that one.
Yeah.
Reminder
Okay,
that
boys,
Focus
it's not
didn't
a
even...
competition. I'm just saying, there's a lot of fucking channels.
Okay, that's awesome. Moonman5 says, remember that Focus didn't even get more than crypto-fascist on his test, so honestly, he isn't right-wing enough. True, libtard detected. I was feeling bad. I only got a 42% on the fascist test. I was a crypto-fascist is what it called me. I think I was like 1% above fascist traveler, whatever that means. So honestly, kind of disappointed. Boy Anderson for 2. You know that Brass yells at Hop so much worse than that. Well, unironically, I have gotten into worse yelling matches with my friends. Yes, 100%. I've gotten into physical altercations with friends before. How about that?
Yeah, he yells at me like that every stream. Like right before the stream starts, he just goes off on me because I'm late.
No, Richard, it's moved on from that. I'm at a silent resignation at this point. I just sit there, just wait for it to be
Richard,
over.
have you tried not deserving it?
Yeah,
I did once.
You see what he's wearing. Like, the chat sees what you're wearing right now.
I mean, he's wearing a pear around his entire head. The man is clearly a fruit. He's signaling a lot of stuff with that choice of outfit. So, yeah.
Huge Ass for 5 says, women claims victimhood, admits to being a toxic POS, and the sky is blue and water's wet. Negative 30 Degree Nightmare for 10 says, this is the same shirt the left did in the gaming and wargaming industry.
Say shit. You can say shit. It's not even a bad word anymore.
Well, I know, but I try not to.
And like, I mean,
I know
saying it under your breath is still going to get you kicked out of heaven. So you might as well either do it or not do it.
That's not true. Well, listen, modern theology about cursing is different than what it used to be because like harsh language and stuff is biblical in certain contexts. I just try not to say this stuff all the time, That's
I know, but like, I mean, show me in the Bible where they say if you say instead of shit, like you're fine. Like, come on.
Well, but okay. So actually, funny enough, I had a guy on the Discord.
You're not even the guy saying it. It's
no. But listen. Okay,
it.
So I had a guy that was like, man, I work really hard in blue collar labor, and then I want to turn on a focus trip stream, and I don't want to hear all the same language that I have at work. And I was like, oh, well, that's fair enough. Like I can tone it down for you. Okay, I'll tone it down for you. Right.
You can't though, because if you're saying instead of shit, like I mean, all of his coworkers.
Well,
are
see
like,
now by
avoiding
it, you said it so many more times, so now it's not even worth.
I know. I'm trying to make up for lost time here, because there's been a lot of times where the word shit popped up on a super chat, and you either got to do it
to the one gentleman who wanted me to tone it down. I apologize. Okay, I apologize for Hop. Just kidding.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways,
we're not the type of people to just not fucking swear all the motherfucking time. That's just not who you're listening to. But we will sometimes say instead of S word.
Sure, man. Anyways, okay, this is the same S word the left did in the gaming and war game.
There you go.
I'm gonna make it even worse.
That's a proper redaction. I appreciate that a lot more than the other thing. That sounds like saying unalived or raped, and we don't like that here.
We talked about rape for so long.
Exactly.
Gaming and wargaming industries, if they are allowed to cancel Ben for an argument, they will be canceling generic conservatives in a year. Screw this PSI, dude. Yeah, I mean, people have different relationships. What? Screw? No, screw's good. Screw's a fine word. No, I'm gonna start doing it for every word now. Gosh, we're never getting out of here.
I think you should. I think you should go all the way or not at all. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Negative 30 Degree Nightmare. Poketrip's wife says, I have lots of confidence, but I'm in a basement and can only communicate through super chats. Send condolences and pizza to South Dakota. Well, South Dakota's a big place. Not a lot's there, but it's a big place. So we'll hope that pizza gets delivered. Huge Ass for 5 says, being kind is free. Yeah, and so is being an asshole.
And it's much more fun.
Yeah, people act as if hating isn't free. Akai for 10 says, Hop, do you have any interest in meeting up with local dudes for range LARPing? I have heard you're in Oregon. I met Focus Trip recently, and we had a fun range day. Yeah, so this is Josh. I met him. He seems like a wonderful gentleman. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So yeah, I've met up with people, but the more death threats that I get and the more, certain organizations call me out for certain things, the less I want to actually meet people I don't know in person. Now, I've obviously met a guy. He's a nice guy.
Well, yeah, 4chan's been threatening to kill me for like 10 years, but I don't think they mean it. So
that's just for fun. Just how they communicate. It's toxic. It's
that's how they
gaslighting,
say
but
hello
you know.
over there.
Yeah. No,
And
actually, no, dude. I have the clip. I have the clip.
Yourself, faggot.
Oh Jesus! It'd be an honor to be killed by somebody from 4chan.
Speaking of honor, Rape Holocaust for 2 says Forerunner or Ranger V6 4-door hop should come to Florida. Ugh, why Florida? Ugh.
I've been to Florida. It's fine.
No thanks.
Some of their cities are kind of nice because they're big and they have restaurants and stuff. But for some reason, there's no homeless or like fent addicts there. It's weird. I don't know how they pulled that off.
What city did you go to in Florida?
Yeah, Richard's a resident Florida man.
Orlando, I guess. I think it was Orlando.
Yeah, you just didn't go far enough under the underpass.
Okay. I was going to say, I mean, like, surely Disney wouldn't let a real epidemic of fentanyl abuse exist around their parks, right?
Kissimmee has fent addicts that are in the middle of the intersection. It's awful. Story for another day.
It's possible that I'm just completely, desensitized to it from living in Oregon. That like when I see it, I'm like, no, that's not anything.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
But Forerunner or Ranger hop? You're the Ranger expert.
Forerunners cost a lot and they're small. I mean, maybe they're not like the 2024, 2025. I think they got bigger, but they used to be so damn small. You felt like you were sitting in like a Honda S2000 that was just jacked way up. Like it didn't feel like a truck. It felt like a tiny car that was on a lift.
Well, I think they are on a car chassis.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, every time that I sit in an older Tacoma, I'm like, there's just no way I could live in this car. The new ones, I think, are a little bigger.
Huge Ass for 5 says the amount of men who immediately simp for some unknown woman and her hurt feelings makes me hope they've already self-sterilized themselves. Yeah, there's lots of simpery that goes on generically for women, despite their own actions. Many such cases. Thank you, Huge Ass. The Lightsport for 5 says Brandon Wombat literally Minecrafted brown people for the Jews, so I don't know if he has room to talk about repentance. That is one way of asserting his job in the Marines. He was MARSOC for a while. But Moonman for 5 says, Focus Trip post a poll, Minecraft all women with hammers. Yes or yes? Well, YouTube's already looking at me like, we could toast this guy anytime we want. Okay, so Minecrafting women with hammers is probably a little too specific.
We do a Tim Dillon reacts to Ben Stoeger drama.
Josh 5 says Roscoe Bloodline 14.5-inch mid-length got to be my favorite couples therapy. Indeed. Thank you, Josh. Focus Trip's wife says plot twist: Ben was yelling at Hop. I feel like Hop would have. That's why the video cut right there, because Hop would have had a biting comeback. Surely.
Yeah, I would say Ben Stoeger may have invented logic, but I perfected it.
There you go. Lord Prism for 2 says, sharpen your rakes, the Leaf Menace waits. Fruits that season. Indeed. I need to get my wife to mow my lawn again. Huge Ass for 20 says, Gamergate mentioned MK Ultra cells are now activated. Go, go, go. That's right. All right. All right. Calling it there for right now. Taurus GX4 Strike Bravo 15 rounds. This is a collaboration between Taurus and Strike Industries. Two companies just known.
Made for each other, you might say.
Just absolutely known for their quality control. And not much else. I think they're probably most famous for being just a little wacky with their designs, right? So this is, because correct me if I'm wrong, but the GX4 is not a chassis gun, right?
It is.
It's not a fire control. Oh, it is a chassis gun. Okay.
Yep.
So are they selling the complete gun, the frames, or what? Because can I buy this and then put on my standard GX4 on top of it? Or G4X on top of it?
I haven't seen it for sale separately, but in theory, there's no reason that it couldn't be sold separately. I'm also pretty sure that it only works for the GX4 Carry, which is the largest version, because they kind of blew their load with the GX4. And then when they came out with the bigger version, they called it the Carry. So very, very inverted from what you'd expect.
Okay.
The carry is the biggest version of the GX4.
Yeah, so you can get it with the Strike Industries stabilizing brace, but then it's like almost $800, which for just a little bit more polymer at the back.
I would say that generally that's because almost any reasonably good folding brace is going to cost $150 to $200. They're all
but that's what they're charging for the Strike one, and I don't know if the Strike one is good or bad.
You know what? The guys at Strike Industries always seem like perfectly pleasant people. However, I don't think anything that they've ever made has been worth a second glance. I have so many problems with Strike Industries.
Did you see that? This was years ago, and I wanted to buy it for video, but I just never did because it was retarded. But they had their adjustable height T2 mount where it would ratchet up and ratchet down. So you could adjust it from like lower 1/3 or co-witness all the way up to like 2.01 or whatever inches on it.
Yeah,
I wanted to buy that to break it on camera, but I was like, no, that's stupid. Everybody knows it's garbage. I don't need to make a video on it.
I mean, you could have breathed on it on camera and it probably would have lost zero.
Yeah.
The last Strike Industries product that I ever bought, or two, I think I ordered two at a time. I ordered a Strike Industries low profile gas block and one of their fixed height T2 mounts, which I put on a Romeo 5. I still have that, still works fine. The gas block,
okay.
Yeah, sorry. The gas block was on that 12.5 upper that I sent to you that you tore into rightfully for being not very good.
I think I gave that away to somebody at some point because I swapped out the gas tube for one of those BRTs, so it actually shot like nice.
That was mostly what it needed. It just needed some tuning. Yeah. But yeah, basically. I mean, that was mainly, it was like, oh, that's a cool looking gas block. Oh, it's like $14. Let's go for it, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like all cut out and crap for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
there's like huge windows on the side.
You spent more money machining some of the important structural stability out of this thing. Oh,
well, it's like, that's how it seals, right? It's like sealing around your. It's what. Well, I mean, listen, that thing didn't need any additional sealing. Okay, that thing needed some blow off on there.
Strike Industries mostly to me seems like the brand for Californians who probably don't. Shoot.
I believe it's a Napa brand with all the anodizing, but more so, I do like the Strike Industries toolless dust cover. They're like $7 or $8 when you can get them on sale.
Yeah, they're cheap. They're a dust cover though, so
it's like Magpul, but not as good. Same thing with their wire control kit. Apparently, Strike Industries won a contract for their like wire management kit, but Magpul's version is better. It's just not as cheap, I don't think.
Wait, did you say Strike Industries won like a military contract for their?
I believe so. Strike Industries wire management kit or wire management panels, I believe, won the contract for that. Magpul's version did not win.
Tragic. Wonder if they was just undercut. That is so funny though. Well, listen, guys, for $800, you could get a half as good 365 chassis from Antimatter.
Well, here's the problem. Is it half as good or is it actually slightly better? I'm not a Strike Industries guy, but I'm also not really a SIG 365 guy. I'm not much of a Flux guy. I think the 365 Flux chassis is the best version that they've made because it allows you to use a slide mounted red dot, which reduces the number of like stacking tolerances that you have between your optic and your point of
and it's actually tied to the barrel, right? Exactly. Not some plastic frame braced system that you're compressing into your shoulder.
Yeah. So that's the version of the Flux that I thought was the good one. Like I was skeptical of the original Flux Raider and the 320 version, and then the 365 one came out, and I was like, oh, good, that's the one. Well, you'll never believe that Brassfax got one because, of course, he did, because that's
I shot it.
That he does, right? And I shot it, and it was the most miserable experience of my entire life. However, as we've always been told by
you
all
didn't
the
like
boomers,
you didn't like his because I shot his 320 setup like 3 weeks ago now, and
that's fine. The 365 is.
Oh, it's worse. Oh, never mind.
It's awful. It is I'm a bit of a fucking pussy when it comes to recoil. I don't want to get like beat up by the gun that I'm shooting. What we've always been told by all of the the boomers or whatever is that a carry gun should be comforting, not comfortable, right? That's like a classic boomer gun advice, right? the 365 Raider hurts so bad to shoot. Like it hurts so bad.
You probably weren't using the max edging XL slide with the comps on it. That'd help you out in the recoil department. That is true.
Maybe that would have helped. Maybe suppressor would have helped. I don't know. I mean, like I slap a 17 round mag in there or whatever, and I get like 4 or 5 rounds in. And I've developed a flinch that I've never had in my entire shooting career. I'm just like, oh my god, I don't want to shoot this.
Yeah, your shooting performance goes down with the stock. You're like, actually, this is less comfortable. Can we get rid of this, please?
At some point I started. So you shoulder it on your sternum as you on your clavicle, I guess, as you would normally. You get like 5 rounds in. You're like, this hurts so much. I'm gonna just start experimenting. Like maybe I'll like bicep it, and then by the end of the
that sounds miserable.
Yeah, it was bad. By the end of the first magazine, I folded the brace closed, and I was just like shooting it like a handgun, and it was more pleasant, and it was still, it wasn't as fast, but it was more or less as effective. So I was like, yeah, this hurts like hell, but that's not the point. It's a life-saving tool. If it hurts you a little bit, go for it, man.
The Strike wire management kit is for the NGSW program.
How many panels do you get? Because the Magpul one is about $20. You get 6 of those little I got like a billion of them here. I got so many of these little things.
I'm so confused.
$20 okay, so 6.
You have like a $2,000 XM157 optic on top of a $4,000 rifle, and you're like, you know what we need for this? Strike Industries wire management system. That's right, baby. That makes sense. Huh.
It's textured. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
For her pleasure.
But I think this is actually bad timing for the Taurus because allegedly, I've been told many times that the Ruger RXM Magpul chassis folding brace system is right around the corner.
Oh yeah, any day now. I mean, they haven't managed to release the subcompact or full-size frames, but I'm sure the chassis is going to come out.
Yeah, chassis is almost here. I've been told it's almost here.
Yeah, I have been told 3 or 4 times as well. Specifically by someone from Flux.
Somebody needs to bite the bullet and combine this Strike Industries chassis brace system with the GX4 and tell me if it's good or not.
No, I've already shot it.
Well, right, but did you shoot it like a range day, or do you own one and you've lived with it for a year?
No, Luke's got one. We shot it. It's fine.
Oh, these are actually available for sale right now?
Coming soon, I assume.
Okay, so he's got one early. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, here's kind of a tragedy.
And like the Strike Industries brace, it's got some selling points. Like I think you can swap it to fold either, or actually, I think it folds either side without swapping. Yeah, I think that's
it's the dual folder. It literally has 2 buttons on it.
Yeah.
That folds both directions.
Yeah, and like a slide mounted optic again. Kind of like with the 365 Flux, the stock drops enough that you can actually get behind a slide mounted optic from a shouldered position. So yeah, it does what a 365 Flux Raider does. The Flux Raider's got the advantage of that like shroud built into the front end, so you have a little bit more place to put your hand without getting muzzle burn, something like that. It's not too different, And I think mostly what it's going to come down to is, do you prefer the 365 platform or the GX4 carry platform? And
well, the GX4 is bigger, probably a little more comfortable to shoot.
GX4 versus 365X macro, pretty much the same size gun. It's a high capacity, full size slimline.
Slimline, yeah. But it's half the cost. So for a certain demographic, they'll love it. They'll shoot it like 5 times. But speaking of tragedy, man charged after officials seize 48 guns and thousands of bullets at the U.S.-Canada border.
Thousands of bullets. My
yeah, that's a lot. Well, it looks like they're actual real caliber. It's not like a can of 22. 30-year-old Heng Weizong, a resident of Windsor, Ontario, has been arrested and charged. Canada Border Services Agency. Canadian officials seized 48 guns, numerous gun parts, and thousands of bullets that had been smuggled into the country from the United States. The Canadian Border Services Agencies announced charges against Heng Weizong, 30 of Windsor, on Monday. He is charged with several crimes, including smuggling a controlled regulated device, smuggling a prohibited device, unauthorized importation of prohibited device, attempt to manufacture a firearm, possession of a prohibited device without a license, All right. Improper storage of a firearm and possession of a firearm at a place other than indicated on a license. That's a lot of words there. The charges come after Border Services officers in Windsor, Toronto, and Montreal intercepted 4 parcels containing firearm parts and tools manufacturing firearms in May and June. The parcels were all bound for the same address in Windsor, officials said. Among the items were 30 prohibited auto sears used to convert semi-automatic firearms into fully automatic machine guns, 175 magazines, 104 of which were prohibited, including 4 50-round drum magazines. The CBSA is our country's first line of defense against crimes such as firearm smuggling. Illegal weapons are a significant threat to public safety, and stopping them from getting onto our streets is critically important, says Gay Anandasandri, whatever his name is, Minister of Public Safety. The investigation demonstrates our strong commitment to securing our borders and preventing criminals from getting their hands on illegal weapons. Canadians are safer because of CBSA's work. In 2024, 90% of all firearms seized at the border coming into Canada come from the United States, officials say. Now, what's tragic about all this is, like, all of this stuff is going to be destroyed, and there are, like, some kind of classy firearms in here. Like, somebody was posting about this one over here in the corner. I forget which one this is, but something or other, and then all this stuff is going to be probably broken down and destroyed. Now, what's crazy about it is that he was importing like auto sears and stuff. So I don't know if it was just for collection purposes or if this was some part of some larger gun smuggling operation. Now, Canada's already a little bit wacky when it comes to firearms, but they're like banning another 104 and they have like till next year to turn them in or something like that from an article that I read.
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, nothing about that collection screams crime. None of those are the guns that you choose for crime purposes because they're expensive, collectible, retro, whatever. Like, none of those are the cheap, effective, I mean, Keltec / Tech 9 adjacent bullshit that you would expect to see as crime guns.
Yeah.
You're like, this is a collection. This is like 100% a gun.
Yeah, it looks like a boomer's
had,
collection.
Like, yeah, he's got his XM177. Look at that with the moderator and everything, right? Like, that's not a crime gun. That's a nerd gun. These are all nerd guns. These are all Reddit guns, man. So, you know, I mean, ignore the fact that they said he was a resident, not a citizen. That was a little suspect.
Yeah,
but like,
what you're saying? Hey, Wang Thong wasn't a citizen of Canada.
I mean, you know, he could be given time and appropriate palms greased or whatever. But yeah, like this is. What do we got? We got a is that an SMLE with the like the full length handguard? What do you call that even? It's like that like European style.
No, this one? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like this is
I actually don't know what that
is. This is not a crime gun collection. This is a nerd collection. And this guy got pinched anyway, probably because he flew too close to the sun or whatever. But yeah.
Well, he had these things shipped in. So I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. He scanned one of these packages, and it turns out there was a lot of guns in them.
Lack of understanding, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I could almost bet money that none of those guns were going to end up used in a crime. It just looks like some guy with money trying to move his beloved collection across borders or whatever.
Well, right, but he wasn't an American either. He was just having somebody smuggle these guns into Canada. Because I mean,
like if you were a proper criminal trying to,
there's a lot of money involved getting this stuff across the border. Like the guns are kind of money guns to begin with, but then paying somebody to do it illegally, like you're paying a hefty premium to get this stuff across.
But that's where you're like, you look at this collection, you're like, if this guy's trying to outfit some sort of a gang or whatever, either in Canada, in China, wherever these guns are going to end up. It's not going to be this stuff. It's not going to be this immaculate collection of like. I mean, this is every Redditor's fucking wet dream. You're like a couple of good Mosins.
Where did he get all the auto sears from? How many auto sears were there? Like 50?
Yeah, XM177, M14, the correct shotguns, the shotguns that can slam fire. Like this is what collectors love. I mean, it probably wasn't the auto sears that fucked him, but like, why?
Well, no, yeah, but it is crazy that all this stuff. I mean, while you're at it, dude, it's all illegal, right? So what does 30 auto sears matter? because they're like 104 prohibited magazines. It's like, who cares?
You're breaking enough laws to become a lifetime's worth of felonies, and you're like, I may as well just do it. Either I get away with it, or I'm going away forever.
Maybe you'll get extradited to a country in the East. You never know.
Yeah, you get sent to the right state in the United States, and they're just like, based. Welcome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that guy will, unfortunately, probably one of the most valuable.
There's a Webley in there.
There's lots of crap in there, dude.
There's a third gen Smith. There's
I'm glad that Webley is off the streets, though, and Swiss, that those wangs, those wangs, a lot of violence from those wangs. Very dangerous types.
Yeah, Larry Vickers.
This is what Larry Vickers would look like if he was Chinese. Yeah, dude. He probably lost like $1 million in guns.
More than that.
Criminals don't do the M2 carbine with the mag pouch on the stock. That's not appealing to criminals. No. This is. I feel like
Canada has ARs or like AR alternative style firearms. Yeah. So I mean, you just need all you need is the magazines and the parts, right? So you could if you were trying to like make a militia or something like that, you could much more efficiently create something like that.
The ARs and stuff that Canada has are AR-18 derived, but they're slightly different, and they don't have compatible parts aside from like fire control units and magazines, and that's it.
Yeah, I've shot some of the sketchy Canadian MSRs, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
Well, what was the guy's name again? Good luck, Hang Wei Zong. Good luck in the Canadian court system. I'm sure they will see you sometime next year.
That guy's just another victim of Tylenol, dude.
It's just another Tylenol Canadian. Well, let's hope he doesn't become a victim of Canadian healthcare.
Yeah, no, he's one of those many, like Asian kids who comes from a wealthy family. They go to the Western world for college, and they have more money than they could ever possibly use, and they're going to have to spend it on something. This guy found guns. A lot of them find cars, like whatever, Yeah, this guy. I don't think this guy was at risk of committing any legitimate crimes other than the firearms crimes.
Well, what's funny is if you're going to be a rich man, a rich Eastern traveler, you should just do this kind of crap in the U.S. and not in Kanakistan. Feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to get away with it here.
Yeah.
Tragic end to the man. And to his collection. Well, I think that's enough for tonight. I'm done. I'm going to wrap it up. I hear my wife yelling out in the room, so she's probably verbally abusing our children right now.
You better record that on video and then cancel.
I got it. Debating if I should make a AI agent trained off of Ben's videos. Ben Droiger says Pinochet on Ko-Fi. I hate the new Catholic and Orthodox bros. The history of my religion liberating Europe is not your costume. Fuck out of here, retards. Go to Jacksonville to see some fun stuff, Hop. Jacksonville, Florida. That's Genosian over on Ko-Fi. Trash Dwarf says Chinese Glock Flux brace, only 125 V-Bucks flat. Testing it this weekend with 1,000 rounds. Okay. Yeah, you can get... AliExpress is a wonderful place. Fresh Penis says, again, a few helicopters would solve Canada's problem. Indeed. Best helicopter rides in the biz. Boy Anderson for 2 says, Richard is abusing me with his St. George Floyd PFP. That was a classic. Classic George Floyd right there. Over on Rumble, McLeod, 2486 says, Steger needs to understand that Biden has put in a federal law that could screw him over. See boyfriend loophole closure. Rule 34 on Instagram or something like that. Yeah, don't look that up.
Sounds like bait.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chud for 2 says, Hop, what mag have you had the best luck with for 6.5 Grendel?
I guess Elanders, but they're made out of stainless steel and they're Jewish.
Yeah. I actually also had an Elander. They're like 17 rounders or something like that. That one there was pretty darn reliable.
Yeah, the 17 round Elanders have, I think, been my best overall 6.5 Grendel mags. The Duramag, I think they call them 20s. you should probably only put like 18 in there, but like they're okay. They're just not. Yeah, nothing's
not
awesome.
perfect.
It's not.
That's the problem.
I have decent luck with the ASC mags, but
Weapons Appertance for 5 says, the more I hear the video, the more it seems like he's trolling her in the argument. I would agree with you right up until he starts screaming and hitting the table, unless that's part of the act.
That's part of the argument. At some point,
well, I mean, like, listen, monkeys beat their chest, Ben Stoeger beats a wall.
3 tenets of formal logic, you have to start hitting the table and raising your voice. That is just, we understand that from experience.
I mean, who are we to judge? Maybe this was foreplay.
Well, that's a horrifying thought.
Moonman for 5 says, a woman is a liar. A woman with a camera is a liar with an agenda. All right, Moonman. Jaded Moonman. Huge Ass for 2 says, who ordered 50 gallon drum of rapeseed? Listen, someone needs a sign for the gallon of rape over here. Just wait till the cum truck shows up. Moonman for 2 says, mating press the rapeseed. Error, tap to retry for 2 says, extra virgin rapes. Yeah. Huge Ass for 2 says, rapeseed whistles. Okay, all right.
So we're doing this now.
We're on the ring. Boy Anderson for 2 says, absolute Moonman. You mean absolute Poon Stan. Oh, got him. Thank you, Boy Anderson. Midspot for 2 says illegals do a good job of collecting rapes for us. All right. Imoko Soldiers says this is why England doesn't investigate rape gangs. This is how they fuel their cars and such now. Yes. We have to. It's like Monster Zeke where they have to collect the screams, but in Europe they just collect the rape. And we bottle up the rape and we put it in our cars. Very powerful, very fuel efficient.
I get it.
Midspot TV for 2 says Ben cries out as he strikes the table. Yep. HSB Snake for 10 says, excuse me, does reflect poorly on Ben, but to use this and anecdotes of mistreating women in classes to accuse him of being an abuser is stretching it. Strange how PSI is trying to take Lucas down with this. Well, PSI literally has no real people actually following him. And all he's concerned with is that number of likes on the post goes up. So whatever gets that for him, he'll be happy with. But yeah, nobody's going to respond to it because nobody really cares. Boston Blunt for 5 says there was no uproar over...
Excuse you? Okay, hold on. Context, please.
Is he making a fat joke about his wife? I think this is a like very ironic fat joke about his wife.
Yeah.
Which is very mean. That's very mean, Boston Blunt. There's no uproar over the honest outlet being accused of bestiality in the beginning of his channel. Later on, we learned she had a name. That's just mean, Boston.
That is mean.
That's just mean, Boston.
She seems like a nice lady. So unless you've got some like real actionable dirt that we should know about, okay, not cool, brother.
Is Hop saying?
I don't much like the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
Hop saying she has a nice personality.
Weapons Appertance for 5.
I am a woman respecter. Okay, I like a good personality.
Appurtenance, but you don't even talk to him. So what do you know if you like? Maybe you like a mean one, bosses you around a little too much.
Weapons Appurtenance abuses me on the fucking daily, and
apparently. Appurtenance, an accessory or other item associated with a particular activity or style of living. Living it up. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Appurtenance.
Keep trying.
Focus Swipe for Fun 2 says, Hop, stop suppressing that giggle. That's right. Your little smirk. That damn smile every time.
I don't have a good poker face. I'm sorry.
Heathen from Texas says, I stalk schizophrenic women because when they report it, no one believes them. Richard, pick a random PFP. All right, fair enough. Yeah, you could also do the psych ward. It's called spawn camping.
I think Hop does have a good poker face. I heard him sing it in karaoke. It was wonderful.
Jake has a question about
some white girl music is just straight up bangers, and if you're not playing them at maximum volume on a road trip, you are not living.
Jake has to know your stance on Judy Hopps.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. You passed the test. All you have to do is not know what it is.
Well, now I
put the H.
This is
don't Google it. Don't Google Judy Hopps. Don't do it.
Okay. Who posted this?
He's gone. He's never coming back from that
cartoon rabbit, I guess.
I put the H on it, so it's Nija for $5. Says nothing. Thank you, Nija. Appreciate that. So does YouTube. YouTube allows that.
Judy Hopps got a fucking ad blocker disabled. What the fuck is this?
It's Google.
Oh, here we go. AI overview. Optimistic, determined protagonist of Disney's Zootopia.
Mm-hmm. There are many other AI renditions of Judy Hopps. Moonman for $5 says,
I like
focus.
Optimism.
You got to balance it out with your pessimism. Stop being a 6th grade teacher and say the swear word. Don't allude to it at all. Also, isn't PSI a Jew? Can't confirm or deny. Negates everything he says. Thank you. Fair enough, Moonman. Appreciate it.
Say the whole swear. Just do it. Try it out. See how you feel. See if you like it. I think you will. I think you will understand that it's actually it's just better to say the word, because it's you reading it. It's sort of like reading the title of a certain Joseph Conrad novel.
There is an alternative.
That is don't worry. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Censor yourself.
I didn't call the novel that. Joseph Conrad did.
True.
So
Correct.
If I tell you about the novel, it's not really my fault. It's sort of his for calling it that in the first place.
I do not claim responsibility for his titling. His titillating, I think is how it's supposed to be pronounced. Collaboration is usually a crime, just like this Taurus monstrosity. I've seen worse guns in my time. Chubb McGill for 2 says, there's an M1903 in that collection. My child, no! Yeah, don't worry. One less for the collectors, for the boomers. Heathen from Texas for 5 says, thinking about that Lee SMLE getting broken down hurts my heart. Yeah. HSB Snake for 2 says, Canadian man may or may not be PLA.
Canadian resident. Right. We are.
Canadian resident. Amalama Shing Dong.
As long as his visa doesn't expire, he's a resident. At some point,
that one guy who was a U.S. soldier and then got sentenced to like 18 years or something stupid for passing off information for 18 grand or 12 grand. It was like $12,000 for passing off information,
but it was like 4 different times, so he made like $3 grand a piece.
It's so stupid. Going away for the rest of your life,
back in a pack of smokes, but.
Selling state secrets to the Chinese government.
If I had some.
Well, listen, the risk to reward is so low. It's like, listen, you want 12K? It's like, well, 12K is like my enlistment bonus. So no, like it's gotta be like a lot more than that. The risk is like life in prison, like
I'll tell you
life in military prison.
Unfortunately, I'm just not that important.
Listen, if you go to military prison, terrifying thought, you can't look up Judy Hopps anymore. So just let that sink in.
No, my lawyer probably can, though.
Nate's dad's a lawyer. Mitzvot for 2 says, rifling in the barrels has to be 18-inch long in Canada.
Yep.
So does that mean the barrels have to be like 20 inches long because the rifling itself has to be 18 inches long or however that works?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like a 18-inch barrel is the norm in Canada. The SKS counts.
Yeah.
It's one of the many. Yeah, there's a lot of different guns that like work in Canada. We have SBR law. They don't, but they do have that 18-inch thing. They have their own version of most Keltec rifles. I think there are Canadian versions of the Keltec, or they keep them around the American 18-inch version, or that's it. It's 20-inch version of the RDB.
RDB, yeah,
that discontinued here because we didn't want it, but in Canada that's still the default because it's long enough. I think.
Yeah, interesting. Also because of the RCMP uses it for the Canadian Mounties used it for patrol rifles for I forget how many of them ended up sending up there. It was like 3,000 or something like that they sent to the Mounties.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Fed Nick Kerr for 5 says, I'm a POS, I guess. I took that fascist test and got 33%. I'm not Antifa, I promise. Well, listen, I only got like 42, so you're just behind me, fellow fascist traveler.
Well, if you got 33%, that just means you're Masonic fascist, sir.
Ethical Steel for 2 says nothing. Thank you. Josh for 2 says, Hops is mid. I want the 3 blind mice from Shrek. All right, Josh.
That's a man who has Rule 34 bookmarked.
That's a man of special needs right there. Moonman for 5 says...
Special interests.
Let's get Omai on to have the panel review Suspect Cartoon Rabbits. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Thank you for that, Moonman. And Huge Ass on Ko-Fi says, N-words are free. You can say them as much as you want. I'm going to say it. I use them at Popeye's drive-thrus. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, you can have a little N-word as a treat. Speaking of treats, Hop, what do you got going on, man?
I'm distracted because the chat is trying to look up the Joseph Conrad novel that I referenced earlier, and they found it.
I can only guess what it is, because actually that's a cut too deep for me, but I was homeschooled.
It's what is it called? Children of the Sea. It's whatever. Who cares? Classical literature is just too highbrow for me. I don't actually enjoy it. I just enjoy learning about it. Heart of Darkness, whatever, dude. It's been done. It has been done. Okay, a lot.
How long does it take just to get to his list of books? Gosh dang it.
He's not. He's Polish, even. So I almost feel like it shouldn't be his fault.
Oh, you know? Yeah. Well, that's the one. I found it.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's Polish, it's
I was like, these are just like normal names. What are you talking about?
Most of them are.
No, I can share the screen. Don't kill me, YouTube. But yeah, it's just it's just this one.
It's classical literature. If YouTube has a problem with like acclaimed classical literature, then they have a problem with me. All right,
I kind of want to have this book, just the hardcover, just sitting somewhere in my bookcase, because somebody's gonna walk by and be like, take a double take and be like, "Excuse me, what?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, you've never read."
Why don't you just frame it and put it behind you on the wall?
Also be funny.
Well, then you can tell them your story about being homeschooled.
And how my mother forced me to read it every night.
She read it to you.
I'm not sure why she loved that book so.
Noob Actual for 2 says, I found a cat meme Hop didn't like. I'm let down. Yeah, it's hard to find, but every now and again you'll see one that he hasn't hit the like on. Tragic. Slacking in his old age.
Usually it's because there is kind of an epidemic on Instagram of just reposting shit without accreditation. So a lot of times,
yes,
I have liked it when it was posted by the original account, and you are like,
well, yeah, it's all
fraud.
It's all stolen from TikTok, which is stolen from X, which is stolen from Instagram. It's just an Ouroboros of stealing other people's content.
We actually have original,
like any adult,
in our Discord.
Just wait for it to show up on Instagram. You know, like it can trickle through.
Essie Yodel and Odins for 5 says, Hop, you have to remember, Focus can barely read. Yeah, despite
I've noticed.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. Despite making a living by talking online, I'm not particularly good at it. It's kind of ironic.
Could be worse.
So allegedly, this dude sent me something. Let me see if I can find it.
You'll get better, but I'm not actually sure if you will.
Bro, it's 30 years old. I'm 30 years old now, dog. It's not happening. It is simply not happening. What is Rad's arms? What? Better picture? What am I seeing here? Oh, yeah, I know that guy. That's funny. Sorry, let me try and find this real fast, because I can't find it on desktop for some reason. Gat Mage. Leave the video post Mr. Cashew Kitty. That is an hour ago. What's this?
40-pound box.
What?
Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's very funny. Actually, no. It takes too long to find. It takes too long to find. So, Hop, back to the question at hand. What do you got coming on, man? Going on, happening?
I've got a couple of like legitimate classic reviews coming up. We've got the Phantom Hill CTF3. We've got the EOTech Voodoo 3-9. I know people are stoked about that. I was too. It's a bad optic, but interesting. And then we've got a bunch of folding stocks. Magpul got a folding stock. B5 got a folding stock. We got some just normal ass reviews. I'm not going to torture you guys with a 30-minute video about a fucking truck I don't know shit about for at least a year or two.
Yeah, who would do that? Richard, what do you got going on, homie?
Well, tomorrow I've got a wonderful video coming out about the AI channel that is Bone Tactical. We covered that the other night. If you guys are not familiar.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Lovely.
I've been following Mr. Greg Tambone for a long time.
It's so funny that half of his videos are actually just AI nothing slop, and then he does like real videos every now and again.
Oh, they didn't used to be. Man, he used to get up to some shit.
Well, maybe we'll have to review some of his old content with you on here sometime.
Not Richard. Sorry, he actually did stuff, and that's why he's like living in South America now or something, because he got arrested for SA and then pleaded down to like something else or whatnot. So he's now South America somewhere.
It's strongly possible that he used to be a cartel hitman back in his own, his heyday, and now he goes to abandoned buildings in South America, and then he shoots them up. What a man. What an interesting man.
Oh, come on. I want to see the person. Show me the person. I don't know why this is so annoying to actually find people on here. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Semi-Auto. I can't find it. I'm illiterate when it comes to Discord. Otherwise, I would play it. It's just him saying 40-pound box of rape.
Okay.
It's 40-pound box of rape. Oh, here we go. It's right here. It's excellent. YouTube has never let me down. Of course, they have the clip of 40-pound box of rape. Classic.
Rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it. A 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it. A 40-pound box of rape. 40-pound box of rape. A 40-pound box of rape. Don't open it.
Yashi.
40-pound box.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, ladies
I
and
will
gentlemen.
tell you what. The first YouTube video that I think I ever watched would have been a Coke Man video when he had his gold Desert Eagle, and he used 50 AE cartridges to spell out the word rape on a table. And then he explained to the viewer that he was talking about the seed, not the act. And then he shot some 50 AE. I don't know, like that was like, as a young person in what would have been 2005, 2006, I go on this new website called YouTube, and the first video that I see is Coke Man with the word rape spelled out in 50 AE cartridges, and being like, yeah, it's a crop. It's a crop that we grow here. And then he shoots some garbage with a Desert Eagle. So
now this might shock you, Hop, but if you Google Cokeman Desert Eagle rape, you don't get that video. You get Daisy Coleman team rape case reopened after internet backlash.
Okay, that's weird. I will tell you the reason for that is probably that his original account got banned and he had to recreate it.
It's
so
it's on all of his old videos are on archive.net. So if you got the fix, archive.
Good. Yeah, because classic Coke Man, classic Matt V2099, those videos are cultural touchstones for people of a certain age, by which I mean old people like me who have been gay dead for a couple of years, and it's going to happen to you soon.
Were you watching when we had Coke Man on and he just got up and desk popped into his trash?
Yeah, Hop was on that stream.
I was not watching. I was there.
Hop was on stream for that.
I couldn't remember if you were on for that one or not. That was wild.
That's good times, man. I mean, that's what he does. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Yeah, I got a kick out of it.
HSP Snake for 5 says, mention Judy Hopps and all the closeted furry sleeper agents get activated. Lol.
Is that? I mean,
see, that's why we mention it so that we can ban them. Yeah, just don't actually Google Judy Hopps. It's ST Yodeling Odin. We need to kill all Disney adults, even though it's not Disney, but we still need to kill them because it's funny. ST Yodeling Odin for 5 says, we appreciate you anyways. Remember to give your wife some table scraps. Too late. I already ate all the pizza in the house today. Can't stop me.
Not even gonna give her the cross?
Too late. No. Nope. Not happening. Patrick's mind is shot. Finally, some good food. All right, but with all that out of the way, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. God bless. I invented